How's everybody doing today? I don't see my display here. Let's see what's going on. All right, so there we go. I don't know what the hell was going on with that. And looks a little bit muted, the colors. I don't know. All right, so today I thought I'd document a little bit of my process for capturing voice work from remote voice actors. And this is something I put together over the last few weeks. Much of my film has already been captured live here in the studio. I do have some voices that need to be either redone or done from scratch or filled in. But you know, some of the actors have moved on. They've moved to different cities, or they have I've lost contact with them. So I have to move forward. So I have to start either giving them the opportunity to finish their voices remotely, or just work with other people online to get their voices here. And at this point, I'm not being too picky about them having to be here at the studio here, at the recording live, because for the most part, it's just filling in on top of other audio that's already been recorded. And a lot of people already have decent microphones at home. And even if they don't, the iPhone, for example, is technically $1,000, microphone and camera system. So it has, I guess you can call it AI-driven, sound quality control, whatever the hell you want to call it. So you get pretty good sound out of an iPhone and stuff. So one of the things that I've done is I developed a little app. .com/apps. I call this app Celt, and basically the way it works is that based on my script, I should probably pull up my script. Let's see here. Probably gonna have to log into that too. All right, it automatically logged me in, so that was good. So when I work on my scripts, I try to keep all my lines numbered. That way I know what lines belong where. Although I'm not picky, because if I'm doing it live in-house, I like to improvise everything. And if I can get the entire scene done like really beautifully done live, then that's always going to be my main goal. But I also encourage my actors, even if they're doing line by line, where they can, I can only have one actor in studio or whatever. I'm like, we're gonna work on line 10, and I just have them either improvise it or do whatever. But either way, I'm keeping the line number, which is right here. So we have our line numbers. This is episode 1, line 1, episode 1, line 15, right there. And I'll just tell them, okay, go ahead and say that line the way your character would say it. And feel free to improvise any sound effects or any emotions that you want to do while the first line is going on. And even take your time to do some reactions to the second line. Even if they go over the line, that's fine. This stuff can be fixed in editing. But the important thing is to get this part in there. And I'm not a stickler for, hey, you got to say the line the way I wrote it. No. I mean, you're creating the character, and I want you to take control over that character. As long as you're giving me the main idea, you say this line the way that character would say it, So that's how I like to work in terms of my directing style. So I came up with this little app, and basically, this is season 1. We're going to be working on episode 1 line. Let's say I'm going to record Odesio's line. Let's see here. Let's do that one that's a little long. There we go. Damn, you're really in a bad mood. Was just asking. And this is line 24. So this is how the recorder works. I'm going to leave the take by itself, because this is take 1, If I am continuing, then I can manually adjust it. But for the most part, there's no need to do any of that. You just let the software do its own advancing and stuff. I also have the ability to choose the microphone out of all the microphones that are installed on my system. So, I mean, if I were doing this, like using my voice changer, like here's voice mod, I can do different AI voices or whatever. This is another AI voice changer thing. These voices suck. I've tried it. It doesn't work very well. But for rough drafting purposes, I have used them, and I guess they do the job. So I can choose the microphone, and I have a series of beep that's gonna play to prompt me when to start recording. Okay, I don't want people to just record and think that the thing is being recorded properly. I want enough padding in there to ensure that I get the right volume. I mean the right sound amount of sound without cutting anything off. So it kind of gets annoying every now and then. I gotta figure out a way to make it a little bit not so annoying, maybe lower the volume or whatever, but it's gonna give me 3 second head start, and it's gonna notify me when to start talking. So I'm gonna go ahead and give this a shot real quick. What is this? Okay, so here we go. Damn, you're really in a bad mood, man. I was just asking. Stop. So now my recording gets added to a playlist. Now this recording is not on the server. This is on your local machine. All right. So you can see that the file name is season 1, episode 1, line 24, take 1, and I can replay it just like as an actor or whatever. You know, just kind of listen to it. Damn, you're really in a bad mood, man. I was just asking. All right, so I'm going to disable. I'm gonna put my speaker on mute real quick so that I don't get that feedback. I'm gonna play it again. Damn, you're really in a bad mood, man. I was just asking. Okay, so that's how that works. So now I can go ahead and do additional takes. Give me just a second. Let me set up my headphones. That way I can still hear the feedback on my end. All right. So I'm going to record a second take. Notice that the take number has already been advanced. And the reason I did this because I could have easily just given people, like the public, the ability to just type in a file name or whatever. But I'm also thinking about security. And by giving people the ability to put in their own file names, I mean, some very smart people could easily inject certain types of code, and if they know where these files are being uploaded, they can run those files as if they were something else, and yeah, that could lead to some serious bad shit. I worked in the web hosting industry for over 10 years, and I still run my own servers, you know, which is why I have the ability to create my own little online apps and stuff like that. But yeah, I've seen many servers get hacked and stuff like that, and a lot of that simply has to do with uploading custom file names to a server somewhere, and if you know where those files are, you could run those files and do some serious shit, you know, on the server. All right, anyways, so basically using this naming system, it's like a little combination lock. I'm gonna do line 24 again. So all these files are on my local machine. They haven't been uploaded, okay? So I can delete this. By deleting this, it's deleting it from my local machine. When I click download, I should probably rename that to save or save locally. But what that does is that allows me to save a copy into a local folder here in my machine, so I can keep it for whatever purposes I need. Or if I'm doing something locally, you mean, you know, you could just grab your files that way. In fact, you're more than welcome to use this app yourself if you have any value to it. You know, it's free. I use it for myself. This is available at toontitan.com/apps/celt. And yeah, feel free to use it. Just don't upload anything because I'm gonna ignore it. I gotta figure a way to just kind of for a public version of this. I want to either figure out a way to just have the upload function be done in a way where you could just maybe send the links to other people and they can grab that file, or just remove it altogether because all you really need is the ability to record and download and stuff. I guess I don't know. If you guys have any suggestions, I'm more than welcome to consider them. You know, I mean, like most of the apps and things that I write, I do them for my own personal usage based on what I need. So all right, so I'm gonna record take 2. I talk too damn much, don't I? Oh man, damn, you're really in a bad mood today, man. Was just asking. Okay, so now I have my second take. So now I can play back. See, I have like line 24, take 2. And I could just keep going, right? And I can play back the different versions. So here's the second version. Oh man, damn, you're really in a bad mood today, man. Was just asking. All right, and there's the damn number 1. You're really in a bad mood, man. Was just asking. All right. So if I want to send this over, you know, to me, I guess I could just click the upload. So I can send both, or if I'm shy or whatever, I'm very self-conscious. I'm just gonna send the best one out of all the files, and I guess that would be the take number 2. I'll just click the upload button. See how the label turned green? That means that it is on the server. So now, let's see here. I'm going to go to my apps folder. There it is. I'm going to go in here. And there's my Celt app, audio, and there it is right there. Season 1, episode 1, line 24, take 2. And I can actually download that to my local machine. So that's been downloaded. And the reason I keep moving the window around is because I don't want to reveal where on my server the stuff is actually located, because I don't want to open myself up to exploits, which, you know, I guess if you know what you're doing, you're still going to figure it out, right? Fuck it. Let's see here. So I downloaded it, show in folder. That's in my downloads folder right there. So I can play it in my machine. So that's how I receive. Oh man, damn, you're really in a bad mood today, man. Was just asking. Okay, and I recorded that with my decent microphone, so the sound quality is good. I can also do it with my iPhone or whatever Android device. As long as you go to that website, you can record the file. So this is a general usage recording app for recording the lines, and if you hit that upload button, I will receive it. In fact, if you want to send me some anonymous fucking messages and shit, go ahead and do it. I'll receive them. Just put some random numbers in there, and I'll hell, I might even play them on the next video and shit. That should be fun. Just send in some anonymous voice recordings to me. That'll be fun. Okay, so that's my little recording app. You know, I can delete any text that I don't want. And of course, deleting this just means that I'm deleting it from the local temporary file in my local machine. It doesn't delete them from the server. Once it's on my server, it's on my server. So yeah. So don't, I guess, don't upload anything that you don't want anybody to hear. But for the most part, it's just one of those things where you record everything. It's on your local machine until you either save it like permanently or upload it. All right, so that's how that system works. So then the next thing I did is I put together a like front interface that I am handing out the characters. Let's see here. And this is for the sides because uh, it's not necessary for me to send them the entire scripts. I mean, the only relevant parts is the sides, you know, just the pages that include their lines. Let's see here, sides. Let's look for Raul. So there it is. There's Raul. And so this stuff here, basically I can record any file I want on my local machine using whatever method I want. Let's see here. Let's go to our downloads folder again. So if I record it using my local machine, depending if if I'm a professional voice actor or whatever, I can follow the same naming convention, and I can just drop my file in there. So this would be, let's say I'm doing so here's the thing. So here's Raul episode 1. I can read it directly in here, and it just opens up the PDF. So there is the sides for Raul. And I'm just realizing right now that the sides don't have the... I'm going to have to fix that. The sides don't have the line numbers, so that kind of sucks. I'm going to have to fix that because they have no way of knowing what the line number is in order to give it a file name. So yeah, good thing I reviewed that. So there's the way to read it directly, or you can just download it to the local machine, and then of course you have it locally where you could just, you know, read your lines, do your own recordings. And does anybody else have the same issue? Whenever you open a PDF file locally, it kind of stalls for about 30 seconds before you're able to actually click on it and do stuff with it. I've been having that for the last year or so, and I mean, I don't use it often, the Adobe Acrobat, but yeah, it kind of stalls when I'm trying to use the software directly. Anyways, so yeah, that's how that works. Hey, Rand, how's it going, brother? In fact, do you want to help me test some audio stuff, Rand? So here's Raul. Yeah, I take the audio file. Let's say I just use my own methods for recording the lines. I'll just drop it in there. It uploads it, and now it gives me a list of the file that's on the server. Now, if I accidentally upload the same file twice, it's going to increase it. It's going to call it a, you know, take two. If I upload another one, and if it has the same file name, it's still not going to override it. It's just going to call it a take 3. So it's automatically just, you know, if you're just recording this stuff directly without my recorder, you just label it whatever you want and drop it in there. And as you add more versions of that same sound, all right, so give me a couple seconds, and I'll have you do some recordings for me, and we can just kind of test them out. So I have the original one, take 2, take 3. As you drop more files in here, it'll just keep labeling them based on the take if they have the same name. Otherwise, you give it another name if you know what it is, and you just keep dropping them in there. And on my end, let's see here, sides. Go into my Raul folder. So on my end, I have the files that are coming in. So I'm gonna drop this one again. Actually, let's do another one from scratch, and let's pick one from Raul. So let's see here. Let's find episode 6. And since I don't know what line number this is, I do have to fix this. I need to have the sides have the line numbers, because I mean the complete script does have the line numbers, but for whatever reason when I generated this, it didn't give me the option to put line numbers in there. So I gotta figure out how to do that. Anyway, so we're gonna call this episode 6, line 1, I guess. Since I'm putting them on their own folder anyways, I'll Well, I have a pretty good character that I'm thinking of using you for. I'm just kind of finalizing a few things just to make sure. But yeah, I have a pretty good idea of where I can put you into film. I think I told you that before. I just this shit just takes forever, man. Yeah, you got a pretty good voice, man. I mean, I think people should use you more often. Okay, so we're gonna work on this line here. Great. Looks like the whole team is here. Cornerman, manager, and the promoter. Me. You know. And this guy's more like a Danny DeVito type, I guess. But you know, I've played with different versions of him, so I'm just gonna read that line. I'm gonna call it line 1 of episode 6. I guess it doesn't matter if I'm like too exact as to what the line number, the real line number is, because at the end of the day, we're working specifically with the role folder. And I'm gonna use my app. So here's my recorder. It pulls up in here. So I'm gonna call this season 1, episode 6, line. I'm gonna keep it as line 1, take 1, record. I'm gonna put this to the side here, and this is how we're gonna work with it. So, if we're using this recorder, I do not recommend uploading to the main server, and I'll go into that in a minute. So here's a roll. I'm gonna give myself a little lead, Ah, great! Looks like the whole team is here. Cornerman, manager, and promoter. Me. Okay, we hit stop. The audio gets recorded in there. I can review it, or I can add more takes until I find the proper one. Let's do it one more time just to make sure. Ah, great! Looks like the whole team is here. Cornerman, manager, and the promoter. Me. Okay, so I got 2 different versions, okay? Completely different takes on the same line. And, you know, since I'm reviewing my own stuff, here I am, it's just kind of reviewing. Ah, great! Looks like the whole team is here. Cornerman, manager, and promoter. Me. All right, so here's my second one. Ah, great! Looks like the whole team is here. Cornerman, manager, and the promoter. Me. Okay, so I could make a choice as to which one I like better. I could just upload all of them. Now, if I want to make sure I have them, actually, you know what? I would recommend go ahead and, if you like all these, just to give me the options, go ahead and click upload. It turns green. Click upload, and that turns green. So as long as these names are not green, then those files have not been uploaded. Now, these are being uploaded to a completely different server, okay? This is for general usage, but if you just want to have like a backup, I would suggest doing that. But what I'm going to suggest, if we're working specifically with a character, is we hit this download button. Just select your favorite one or all of them. So I like that first take that I did better, so I'm just going to download it. We're going to close this, and we're just going to drop it in there. Now this adds it specifically to this character's folder, so now it is up here, and now we can play it back. Oh man, damn, you're really in a bad mood today, man. Just asking. You're always inventing. You know, I try to find more efficient ways to improve my own workflow. I don't know if this kind of stuff is useful for anybody else, but almost everything that I always come up with is usually because I need it. I need something that works specifically like this, and I know that I'm probably the only one who works this way, so I'm probably my only customer. So there it is. So later on, if I want to come back here, I refresh, I can see all the lines that already exist. So later on, I can review the same lines or whatever. I can download them to my machine, review them, etc. And yeah. I have a couple links in here for like Zoom. So if we want to do some live directing, you know, if you want me to direct you while you're doing your recordings, we can connect through Zoom. And there's like a little permanent uh, Zoom lobby here that connects you to me, and we could just connect live and just kind of do like some just live recording and stuff. You still use the app, but you have somebody just kind of keeping an eye and making suggestions live as to how you should be performing. Or we can both grab the script and read the lines to each other, and that way it gives you more of a improvisational feel to it, where you could just bounce lines off of me immediately, you know, boom, 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 and it gives it a more natural feel. So that's always another good way of working with this stuff. That's really good to hear, man. Story time. You know, if you have any suggestions as to how I can implement this as into a more public tool, then I'm more than happy to listen to them and implement them, because if they're useful for other people, they're out there. They're over at toontitan.com, and you can use that as is. But I'm looking to make eventually, I guess, a more public version where you would just go to like toontitan.com/recorder or some shit like that, and anybody could use it. But yeah, yeah. I mean, this tool, the recorder itself, you're free to use it. It's available at toontitan.com/apps/selt, and you could just use that till the cows come home for your own personal usage, commercial. I don't care. Just run with it. Anyways, so for the characters. All right, Ran. Here is the thing. Let's let's see if we can find a just something to have fun with. Let's see here. I'm gonna create a new side just for you to play with. Actually, you know what? Let's play with Raul. Go to toontitan.com/sides/Raul. Just go ahead and go to this guy's page. And story time, if you want to get in on this too, this is just experimental. Knock yourself out. I'll listen to what you guys come up with. So yeah, go to toontitan.com/sides/Raul. Pick any episode. Either click on the read or download to download it to your local machine. So here I'm going to click episode 10. Pick a line. Any of Raul's lines. $50. Come on, you got to have a bit more faith on your guy, haven't you? Or just pick an episode and choose a line. And if you want, go ahead and use the recorder. Just kind of choose your own file name in here. Hit record a couple lines, and send them in, and just post in the chat once you've uploaded. Now remember, if you are recording, 1 2 3 testing 1 2 3. Don't use this upload button for now, because this one sends the file to a different folder on a different server, so that I'm not gonna get that immediately unless I'm looking for it. Just use the download option. It'll download to there, and once you have it, drop it in here, and that way we know we're getting it right there. 1 2 3 testing 1 2 3. All right, so let's get you guys involved. Ran, give it a shot. Story time, if you want, you can try it too, man. We'll see how it works out. Now, if you want to try it on your phone, we can also test out how it sounds on your phone. On your phone, just navigate to toontitan.com/sides/Raul, and you'll end up on the page for this Raul character. Pick a line, or just say anything. It doesn't matter. It's just for testing purposes. Send me some. I guess you're not so anonymous at this point, because I know it's going to be either one of two people. But if you're not in the chat and I don't know who you are, you know what? Feel free to send me some anonymous hate mail in your an anonymous voicemail in the recorder. We'll test it out anyways. uh, no, to use the recorder, just click launch recorder. So if you're on the page, click recorder. After you record the voice, click download, and then the file will get downloaded, and the downloaded file, you just drop it back into this little box. All right, so while that's going on, I'm gonna start working on adding some new sides to the other characters that I need to capture. I know I need Frank Watkins, so I'm gonna do him next. Um, and the way I'm gonna pull that off is I'm just going to grab a copy of Sean, copy, and we'll call it Frank. And all right, I don't have a headshot for him yet, but I also don't have scripts, so I'm going to get rid of the scripts. So what this thing is doing is that it's looking automatically for any scripts that are inside of this folder, and it adds them to this list. And it also looks for something called headshot. I wonder if I have a Frank Watkins headshot. I don't, because I don't have that character casted yet. Alright, we'll use a picture of one of my actor friends. Let's see. We'll use an Alice headshot. Oh. Okay, I got it. So I'm gonna get rid of the Sean headshot. I'm going to add this guy here. Oh, guess I gotta do it this way. Alrighty. So we just refresh. There it is. We just rename it. It's renaming things a little finicky. Headshot. All right, so now if we go to sides slash Alice, no, Frank. All right, so we have this here, and it's not working. Headshot. I'm gonna modify this a little bit. Yeah, I need to make it a little bit more efficient when it comes to that. Get the name from somewhere. I'll do that later. So we save it. All right, let's see here. At least the name should change. This thing is probably not showing up because there's no scripts in here. Let's put some fake scripts for now, but I'm gonna grab the real sides in a minute. So I'm gonna grab these here. I'm just gonna put a bunch of scripts here. So now if we refresh, so we have the Sean scripts, and we have a picture of the actor or an actor. This is actually an actor that I have for Alice Romano, but you know I don't have a Frank cast yet, so we'll use his picture, and now he can do all the stuff that he needs to do. Use the recorder, upload his lines, and I'll get all his stuff inside of my server. So let's let me actually get some of the real lines here. Where is my Celtics? Let's see if we can find I know Frank is not on this. Is he on episode 2? I don't know. Let's see, create link, create sides. I want all Mrs. Watkins. All right, Frank is not on episode 2. I know he's not on episode 3. Let's look for episode 4. Create sides, all scenes. Frank Watkins. There we go. He's on 4 scenes. He's on 3 scenes. Compile. Show dialogue numbers on the right. There we go. That's what I needed to do. Show character continues. Show dialogue breaks. All right, all this is fine. Let's see what else do we have here. Show scene breaks. I saw something in here that I thought I could use, but now I don't see it. Title page, I don't need that yet. All right, so we're gonna download. So now we have sides for Frank. Let's see, so this was, I'm just gonna do all the pages. Let's see here, this was, I forgot which episode this was. Episode 4. So now let's look at episode 5. Show in folder. Let's clean out our thing real quick. Alright, so now we're looking at episode 5. File, create link, create sides, all scenes. Tonia, Laney, nope. Okay, let's look at episode 6. And this is a good way of doing it, especially if you have like a, like an entire series and you don't want to reveal the entire thing, because some people are gonna leak the script, or they're gonna leak storylines, or sometimes it's not necessary. You just want people to find their lines. They only need their own lines, so I'm only giving them what they need, unless they're really interested in reading the full script, and that's a different story. But for the most part, this is one way to control, so you don't have to give everybody the copy of the script and force them to have to look through the whole thing to find their lines. You just give them what's relevant to them. Frank Watkins. He is in 3 scenes on episode 6. Show dialogue numbers on the right. Download. We'll rename that one Frank. Episode 6. So this is how we generate sides, and this is how I'm implementing it with my own workflow, which is by doing this digital thing where I can work with the actors remotely. I know he's not on this episode. Let's see here. Hitting Below the Belt, episode 8. Generate sides, all. Here he is, Frank Watkins. He's in 2 scenes. Compile. And dialogue numbers on the right. Download. Frank. Episode 8. And I'm almost done because there's only 10 episodes in this series. So let's see here. Episode 8, 9, here we go. Episode 10. Control F. Create sides, all seams, and Frank. There he is. And there we go. Episode 10. All right, so we actually did some work, some useful work. For the voice actors, it's a sort of a collaborative effort. Some people have gotten paid up front for it, like depending on the job, or if it's like an actor, like a name actor and stuff that I needed to use. I went ahead and paid them what they asked for to record their lines, and the contract is over. For the most part, I'm basically just work with my own friends, and the way I think of it is like, I don't know if this thing is going to sell. I don't know if people are going to look at it. It's a creative effort. So for this particular film, now, if it's a commercial project from the start where somebody hires me to do it or I have a budget to work with, then I immediately start doing, the hey, I'm going to pay you a day rate for the thing. We get it done. You get paid what you get paid, and I get your voices. It could be an 8-hour workday. It could be a 2 8-hour work days. So we organize it that way, and for the most part, that's done in house, in the studio. I mean, where I can control the direction and stuff, and make sure that I get the direction done exactly as I need it to be. When it's like a project like this one, this is kind of like my baby. This is one of those things where it could be a big budget product, but this is really a no budget product. The majority of my budget is being used on software, motion capture suits, the times where we have had people in the studio working and stuff like that. Food, comfort stuff, drinks, gas money, and if there's money available, it's like, here, let me pay you what I can here. But we usually go with an understanding that your work does have value, and if somehow we make money off of this, you're gonna get a piece of it based on your involvement in it. But nobody really looks at that stuff, and for the most part, I am working with mostly just friends of mine, so we just kind of think of it as more or less a collaboration. When you're in a band, or you join a band, nobody really, or I guess 90% of people who join a band, they do it because they want to be in a band, and they want that collaborative effort to work together on something. You have your singer, you have your drummer, you have your bass player, and everybody brings something to the table, and they work together, they rehearse together, they produce something together, and everybody reaps the rewards from the project once it's done. But you don't have the expectation as, hey, you're hiring me because I'm an employee. I'm the guitarist, so I'm gonna need to get paid this much, and everybody else is not getting paid. So it's like a band business model when I do this type of stuff. So everybody who's in the band reaps the rewards. And if it's somebody like a voice actor or something like that, you got to think of it as a band. He's your group, he's your family, and whenever there's a project that does have money involved, and there is people hiring, and you're going to be the one that I call on to get that job and perform that voice for me, or perform that, whatever task it is in the project that you want to do. So we all just reap the benefits. It's like a band. You join the band, you work together, you produce something. If there's a gig that comes up, then the band takes on the gig, and you all kind of split the beer money. But no, like for this particular project, there's a few people who have gotten paid up front. And those who have gotten paid up front, I make it obvious to them. You're like, yeah, I can afford to pay you this much because I really do want you in this. I wouldn't have this character with anybody else. I don't have time to look for somebody else. So you're gonna get paid this much, but this is it. If this movie just happens to make, let's say, realistically, this movie's probably gonna make about $1.5 million once it's finished, from a realistic perspective. That's my projection on this because of the way it's being done and my connections in the industry and stuff like that. So I just have to actually produce it. So realistically, I know it's gonna make a pretty decent amount of money. I'm just working with no money. So, but anybody who's working with me up front right now, they want to get paid up front. If I can afford you, I'll pay it. But that's everything you're gonna see. No royalties, no spec funding or anything like that. If we're working on it on a buddy basis or whatever, like I do with most of my friends, the project is finished. We all put in the best work that we could to work on it together. I'm not getting paid. Uh, you know, I I keep track of your involvement and stuff like that, and I pay it back, on a scale. I've produced many short films, I've produced a couple of feature films, and that's how it's been done. There were a lot of actors who worked with me for free. There was a lot of there was a cameraman, a director of photography. We all just kind of pitched in and got the project done. When the thing sold, everybody got paid, and they got paid a hell of a lot more than they would have if they would have just taken up the day rate up front, because yeah, sometimes I need it though. Like the sound engineer, I can't think of anybody who'd be crazy enough to work on this for free up front or with a spec funding. So I have a budget of $2,000 for that. So somebody's gonna be just doing that work, but there's no way that person's gonna get any royalties or anything on top of that. I mean, that's just me. That's how I work, and that's why I usually just work with friends and people that I can trust, and they trust me and stuff like that. Yeah, and yeah, and another reason is like with this stuff like this, with recording the lines individually, it does make it easy so that I can just kind of do the voices myself as needed, and then or somebody else can come in and fill it in with a professional voice later on. So once I have this whole audio done, I'll be able to just piece together the entire film, even if it doesn't have the final voices. But as long as I have the names intact, I can always go back and replace the audio with the new audio, and it won't damage anything. So I have all four episode scripts, or sides for Frank Romano. I'm going to drop them back in here. And I'll get rid of the Sean scripts. Yeah, it's really when you're working on your own project, man, you just gotta get the project done ultimately. And you can't just focus on the capitalist side of thing. The moment somebody starts getting a little overly capitalist about it, I usually just walk away from it. I had an experience with a new stunt crew. Okay, I have a stunt crew that I work with, and I'm working on it with this film. They're not getting paid anything up front either. They will get paid, once this project sells and we all start reaping the rewards from it. And they've been putting a really good effort into it. But the problem is that when also, something that's a little bit more involved, like fight choreography and stuff like that, you require people to show up, practice, rehearse, produce the thing in a way that works with the technology, and then give you something really good. So the stunt people is a little bit different, and they don't necessarily um, understand the technology or what's going into this stuff. So I had a thing, because you're working, you're collaborating, and you're all just, you know, putting in your own time and effort whenever possible, so you can't be picky. If you're not paying somebody up front to go in and put in the hours, then you can't complain also when they don't show up for the practice, or they don't show up, or they don't, or they're not maintaining the the deadlines. That's just part of doing the thing in that fashion. You beggars can't be choosers. So if they're gracious enough to help you out with your project, you can't be too demanding into, hey, I need you here for this time, from this time to this time, and I have a deadline of this. You can't expect it, unfortunately. And they don't have that level of dedication unless you're doing everything together from scratch. And unfortunately, I wrote the script, and that thing is set in stone, so there's not a lot of leeway for other people to come in and change a lot of that stuff. So it's really more for, like, I started it and you guys are helping me fill it in order to complete it. So I can't be too choosy in how I treat people that are being gracious enough to help me out whenever they can. So for that purpose, Houston is not necessarily a hotbed of innovation and film industry. There is literally nobody in Houston creating motion capture on a professional level. There's a couple of filmmakers out here who have bought themselves a perception neuron suit. They use it to produce their own little things. They capture the motions themselves, and that's about as far as it goes. There's no stunt teams or stunt coordinators or choreography groups out here that know how to work with the technology. They don't know how to capture motion, and they don't know that you can't just choreograph something the way that you've been doing for the traditional media, where it just looks great and badass and you can do all these crazy flips and things, and you put on the suit and it magically gets captured that way. It doesn't work that way. So there has to be a training that takes place. So to that effect, one of my ideas was, you know what? I'm gonna start a sort of a boot camp, like a mini college, a little school, where I'm going to teach people. It helps if you have stunt experience, in your background. But ideally, anybody who's interested in motion, fight choreography, stuff like that, if you have stuff like that already in your background, then teaching you the rest of the stuff would be easy. So my intention at that time was, okay, I'll set up my own stunt team. I'll teach them how to use the technology. I'll give them a skill that they can use to, move their own career forward. This is stuff that if you want to learn, you're going to go to a college, you're going to go to a school, you're going to pay somebody, you're going to pay, I don't know if there's such a thing on Udemy, but if there was, you're going to go to Udemy and pay your $20 to learn so you can gain that skill and work with these suits, learn what can be done, what can't be done, how to modify your own movements in order to achieve the best results. How to capture, how to use the software, all that stuff is stuff that you have to learn. You just can't expect to show up on set, put on a suit, and do your thing, and ask for money, and not unless you already know what you're doing. So, if there was such a thing in Houston, you know what? I need 4 or 5 fights for this movie. I could just, that stunt team is there. I'll put the budget together. They already know what they're doing. I know they're gonna show up, get the job done, and however many hours I need, they get paid. They're out of my hair. I get the motion capture. Everything's done correctly because they know what they're doing. They have their portfolio. They've used the software before. They used the technology before. My involvement is very minimal. There is no such thing as that in Houston. So this one stunt guy, we were having a meeting with the stunt team, and he's like, well, how much am I going to get paid? Blah, blah, blah. I'm like, you are not an employee. I'm not hiring to be an employee. I'm giving you the opportunity to join this team where I am going to be teaching you. You know, I'm going to give you the skills that you need so that you can go on somewhere else and earn some additional income using the skills that I give you. We're not going to be filming anything right now. We're not going to be producing anything. I'm just going to be teaching you. But he was like, yeah, but I need my baba. I need to be taken care of. I'm like, when was the last time that you went to a college to learn, let's say, welding, and you expect the teacher to provide you lunch, to provide you gas money? Like, dude, that's stupid, man. Come on. Be real about it. I'm here putting together a a stunt team in a way that I'm going to be teaching you. It's like I'm putting together a mini college, and I'm going to keep giving you the skills. You know, if in the end of the day, you know, you don't want to work with me, that's fine. But at least if I've managed to train enough people, then I can either have them help me with my film, or I can hire them, or I can even resell them, because now I know that I trained these people myself. I got projects coming in from different parts of the country, and they're like, you know, I can do this locally. I got a stunt team ready to go. We can do this, you know. Hire them, and we can continue building it together like a band. You know, we work together. We pool our resources, learn, experiment, create, take on gigs together, and everybody reaps the benefits, you know. But yeah, that was a very interesting conversation that I had that with that one guy, because it's really hard to get people away from that mentality. Yes, I understand that you've probably been doing this, and but I'm not hiring you to come in and do a stunt choreography for a film. I'm not going to be pointing a camera at you. I'm hiring you to come and put on a suit and give me high quality motion capture, which you don't know how to do yet, and I'm giving you the opportunity to learn. And so yeah, that's where we were with that, and it was a very weird and interesting conversation, but I learned a lot from it, you know. All right, so I got the Frank Watkins. Oh, I gotta fix that, Frank Romano. Let's see here. No, I do have it. No, I don't have it right. His name is Frank Watkins. This is the only time where I actually have to tweak the code directly. Yeah. When you're working with creative projects, man, especially stuff that you're just pulling out of your ass. I mean, we're all artists here, man. If this wasn't film, we would be probably just be painting, or you know, drawing or something. It's the same situation, man. I could be sitting down drawing something at Starbucks or whatever, you know, and I'm just drawing something, and then you know, you're having a conversation with somebody, and it's like, hey, let me draw you. And then immediately goes, how much you gonna pay me? Well, I don't have to do this. This is just me being creative. I'm not gonna be selling this drawing. People just need to go back and develop a sense of community, man. And I know that there's a lot of people who just take advantage of other people, and I mean, I'm definitely not one of those people, because I've been in the other shoe. I've been in many situations where there's been filmmakers and stuff, and they ask you to, you know, work for free, and there's a creative project and stuff like that, and it's cool, you know. You're a new filmmaker. This is probably your first film. You've probably done a couple of short films. You haven't done anything where you have a budget to work with. You're being creative, and you know, and at the time I was a beginning actor. I didn't have a demo reel. I hadn't done a lot of work, so by doing that stuff for free, I'm still benefiting. You know, my payment was, I'm gonna give this guy a good fucking performance. I'm probably gonna be on his film for like 30 seconds, a minute or whatever, but I'm gonna get a clip for my demo reel, which I'm gonna expand further. I'm getting a little bit of experience. You know, they talk about exposure. No, fuck exposure. I don't care about the exposure, but I care about experience, you know. By doing that, I got a lot of experience working on camera, how to talk on camera, working with the lights. Um, the technical aspect of the thing. I got to a point where I was doing films, and I'm like, I'm performing in it because, and you become self conscious of where you are in the film. I have my frame. The camera's looking at you in a certain frame, so you ask the director. I mean, you ask the DP, the director of photography, what film lens are you using? 35 millimeters, 80 millimeters, whatever. So now you start learning the technical side of those things. He's shooting with an 80 millimeter film camera, and he's about 6 feet away from you. That motherfucker is looking at your nostrils, So you can't. You can't do extreme movements, because the moment you move too much, you are out of the frame. You're inside of that little frame, the little box. So now you know that all your acting has to be done within this little frame, and any movement that you do is gonna look so fucking big and cartoony. So you become self-conscious of that. You learn so many things by doing those things. So it's an education, it's an experience, and the majority of those filmmakers never did anything with those films. They didn't make any money. They gained experience. They went on to doing other things, but everybody got something out of it. And I sure as hell got a lot of clips for my demo reels at the time. The exposure thing, that doesn't work. I mean, come on, man. You're not George Lucas. If George Lucas were to come to me and say, hey, I can't pay you right now, but you'll get a lot of exposure, I'll do it, because that motherfucker will get me exposure. But but 99.99999% of everybody who comes to you with an exposure story is usually just some guy who wants free work. And you just got to evaluate yourself. You look at what the other person is doing. Is this guy ever going to do something with that? Is he just fucking around, waste my time? Who else is working on that project? Because that also has something to do with it. If he's working with other actors that are gonna expose you to other performers who are at a higher caliber than you in terms of their training, their abilities, or who they know in the industry. A lot of that is just networking, man. They say that in the industry, they say it's not what you know, it's who you know. Well, this particular industry is a lot like that. You worked with this guy before, they're gonna remember you. You put you left a good impression on them. So when they get another project, and that project might be big or whatever, they're gonna know how you work with. They're gonna know your style, your ability to take direction, your ability to provide, go above and beyond, or whatever. They're gonna remember that. People who really matter, they're gonna remember that stuff, man. So people are just not willing to just be collaborative anymore, just for the sake of producing art. You're all creating something, and in this particular project, I would say, yeah, about maybe less than 5% of the people that have been involved in here have gotten paid up front, but that's mostly because it's things that I can't get from my friends. Music production, certain things, that I needed to acquire, that I just can't see myself getting for free. Well, it's not free, but a deferred payment type of system, or on a collaborative basis. Yeah, people have gotten paid for it, and they just kind of move on, and that's it. You got paid. That ends your involvement into the project. If this project does as good as I think it will, then you know what? Those who work with me, they're the ones who are going to reap the rewards, and I've always been good about that. I'm always good about just kind of, something like this is something that's going to be with me forever. And so I usually pay out any investors first, and any collaborators, that they took the time. I tracked what they did and how they did it and stuff. And they get a scale. It's called a deferred scale payment. Some people also call it working on spec. And this applies, like, I have this one actress on this film who is a SAG actress. So she's in the screenwriters, I mean, not screenwriters, in the Actors Guild of America. And I mean, they have rules about how they can work. You know, they have to get paid something. They have a minimum wage that they have to charge. Uh, but I really like this girl, and she's a friend of mine, and I really wanted her to be in this film. So um, I made her a producer. In this way, it allows her to pretty much work without the minimum payment from the Screen Actors Guild. But she has a producer role in it, which means that she's putting in her own payment. She's whatever effort she's doing, she's taking a cut of that. Um, so that's one of the actresses, really good actress. She was on Queen of the South, a bunch of like mainstream shows. Um, I got some well-known Mexican actors. They're not in the Screen Actors Guild. A couple of those I know personally, so they do me the favor. You know, it's like, yeah, I'll be in Houston. I'll record the voice for you. No biggie, you know. And they didn't ask for payment or anything. They just want to be a part of something like this because it's not a common project. You know, especially in Mexico, nobody's doing like mature animated films in Spanish film market. This particular film is a multilingual thing. Um, I have another actor that, yeah, I paid him straight up. He's a well-known Mexican actor. Didn't cost that much, but you know, I got his voice and I can attach his name to it, so that'll bring a little bit of renown to the project. Helps you sell it a little better. But that's about it. Those are people who are still, I mean, the ones who have gotten paid up front, they're just, you know, that's it. They got paid, you know. I remember back in the day, because see, people get like so big on contracts and stuff like that too. And this is something that you guys can do also. I don't normally do it, but there are people who are really finicky about it. And usually I kind of, I kind of see it as a way for them to weasel out of responsibilities towards the people who helped them out. I remember I forgot what the name of this film was. I got cast on this film. Independent actor, independent director. But once it came down to do the paperwork, I mean, I knew this was like a low budget, no money thing. I wasn't doing it for the money. I was doing it for the clip, you know, for the clip for my demo reel. But the first thing that he comes up with is a contract, and the contract is, you know, this is a no budget film. You will get paid the amount of $1 for taking part in this thing, and da, 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 da. That's like you locking yourself down. To me, it was like a slap in the face. I mean, you can do this, and it's perfectly legal, and a lot of people do it. But to me, I took it as a slap in the face. This is like I mean, I know why they're doing it, you know, because on paper, you're giving somebody that consideration. Okay, here is the project. You're participating in this thing. It's gonna take 2 weeks to do. You're gonna take time off to do it, and it is official because you're getting paid $1. So later on, that becomes a legal contract. You are obligated. You are flat out obligated to show up on set, work your 8 hours, 10 hours, whatever, for 2 weeks, whatever this guy wants. You're locked in contractually, and you took a fucking dollar for it. That's kind of a. I took it as a slap in the face, man. I didn't sign that shit, but it's done. It's doable, and you can always modify it. You know, if you want a contract that says, you know what, this project is working on spec. And this is something that I do on a lot of these projects too, similar to this. I do this work is done on spec. Your work will be valued at this much, which will get paid should the project receive net receipts or something. I forgot what the language is, or $1, whichever is greater at that point. And that's it. I mean, that's just for the peace of mind of somebody who wants a contract. And I gotta tell you, man, most of the people, they don't really care about that stuff. They're just doing it for the fun of it or whatever, especially something like this. At some point, I'm gonna be doing a big budget production where there's gonna be money involved, and at that point, you know what? That's still not my problem. That's an HR issue. There should be a person handling all HR stuff, to deal with those things. All right, so I have Frank. Let's check on Raul, see if Ran or anybody else has had a chance to play with it. One, two, three, testing.
Hey, who you think you talking to, boy? I'm your boss. I could expel you from the team for insubordination.
That's not bad, man.
Hey, who you think you talking to, boy? I'm your boss. I could expel you from the team for insubordination. Hey, who you think you talking to, boy? I'm your boss. I could expel you for insubordination.
Ah, man. Ah. Great. Looks like the. Okay.
Hey, who you think you talking to, boy? I'm your boss. I could expel you from the team for insubordination.
Sounds great. Hey, Ryan, try it like this now, okay? Imagine that you are this big, fat bastard, okay? You are sitting down or you're laying down on a lawn chair. You're wearing Speedos. You got this big old hairy belly. You got a pineapple, one of those pineapple fruity drinks in your hands. And this guy is talking shit about you, and you are outraged. Hey, who do you think you're talking to? I could expel you for insubordination. Like act indignant. Give me like an indignant tone on that one. Let's try it one more time. The voice sounds great. Let me clean this out a little bit. The audio file came out good. Did you use, based on the numbering thing, it looks like you used my recorder. That sounds great, man. I mean, I'm really glad to see that thing worked. I usually just use it for myself. I don't normally have other people. I haven't rolled it out in a way where I have other people using it yet. And make sure I'm not deleting the wrong ones. One, two. Okay. Delete trash. Where's the damn? Oh, I'm going blind, man. So these are the files that you just uploaded to me. Right? How long you've been listening in, One Gun? So I don't know how long you've been listening in, man. Oh, okay. So yeah, this is Ran. He uploaded some recordings using the recording tool, and um, and yeah, they arrive here on my end, and they sound great.
Hey, who you think you talking to, boy? I'm your boss. I could expel you from the team for insubordination. Hey, who you think you talking to, boy? I'm your boss. I could expel you for insubordination.
Oh man, damn, you're really in a bad mood today, man. Gotta get rid of that one. Yeah, yeah, I made this, man. It's uh, I mean, the main one. You're welcome to use it. Anybody can use this. It's available at toontitan.com/apps/sides. That's the primary record. Oh, sorry. Apps/selt, which basically means season, episode, line, take. And you just pick your own microphone, whatever microphone you're going to use. And like one of the things that I use it for is like when I'm just drafting stuff out, I can use voice mod or that voice AI thing to just change my voice. But I'll take whatever script I'm working on and see how my scripts have a line number next to them. And fuck, this Adobe Acrobat always stalls like 30 seconds after it launches. I need to stop doing that. Anyways, I'll take the line number. This is why it's based. Frank Watkins. This is a nice long line. So Frank Watkins. This is episode 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Line number 121. Unfortunately, I just gotta press the button here once you get into the high. It's all good. Let's see. And I made this on purpose so that you don't modify this by hand. I want people to use this because it's a security issue. I don't want people just writing code in the file names and then uploading files to the server and then running it, you know. That could expose the server to some really, really bad shit. So take one. So season 1, episode 4, line 121, which is this one, take 1. Choose my microphone and hit record. No, I don't want to hear any more excuses. You have 3 days to find this guy, and the next time you feel the need to outsource the work, it's gonna be, well, you get my drift. Find that son of a bitch and let me know when you've got him, okay? I'll deal with him personally. Get Martinez on the line. Martinez, tomorrow, I need you to cover the routes personally. All right, so there's take 1. I'm gonna record one more take just to make sure. No, I don't want to hear any more excuses. So got that? You have 3 days to find this guy, and the next time you feel the need to outsource the work, it's going to be, well, you get my drift. You find that son of a bitch and let me know when you've got him. I'll deal with him personally. Get Martinez on the line, put him on a... Oh, fuck. Get Martinez and put him on the phone. Martinez, starting tomorrow, I need you to cover the routes personally. So I kind of fumbled the lines a bit or whatever. It doesn't matter. So as I make my recordings, they get added to this list. Now these recordings are not on the server. These are on your local machine right now. So there's no privacy issues or anything. So you're doing this with your own machine. This is just an interface for your own computer. And you can review the lines. No, I don't want to hear any more excuses. You have 3 days to find this guy, and the next time you feel the need to outsource the work, it's gonna be, well, you get my drift. Find that son of a bitch and let me know when you've got him, okay? I'll deal with him personally. Get Martinez on the line. Martinez, tomorrow, I need you to cover the routes personally. Sounds pretty decent. So here's the second one. No, I don't want to hear any more excuses. So got that? You have 3 days to find this guy, and the next time you feel the need to outsource the work, it's going to be, well, you get my drift. You find that son of a bitch and let me know when you've got him. I'll deal with him personally. Get Martinez on the line, put him on the. Get Martinez and put him on the phone. Martinez, starting tomorrow, I need you to cover the routes personally. So I'm able to review all the recordings, as I'm working, as a remote work voice actor or whatever you want to call it. Uh, and if I find one that I like, I mean, for my project, you could just hit upload and it'll arrive at my server, with a file name, a specific file name that I'm looking for. You don't have to use this. If you're using this for your own purposes on your end, I'm probably going to be removing this button once I make it officially public. But if you like the line, you can basically, okay, I like line one better. Just hit download, and that just makes it in a way where, okay, you got your line number. It's like labeled according to how its placement is in your script. So this also allows you to just kind of, if you have an entire, oh, actually, I could demonstrate this. Hang on a second. As they arrive, work drive. Oh, it's not on that folder. You could just review your lines. Oh, this is going to be cool. I'm going to get to show you this. If I can, here we go. Temp audio. Episode 1. So here is just individual lines, right?
The horn blows, how about the driver? The horn blows, how about the driver?
And this is another line. Man, shut that shit up. Hey, did you take care of that errand I asked you for? So without having to do any audio editing, you could just grab these files, just grab a bunch of them, and just add them to a playlist. Just listen to them all in a row. Man, shut that shit up. Wait.
The horn blows, how about the driver?
Man, shut that shit up. Hey, did you take care of that errand I asked you for?
Yeah. Yeah, I see you got your ass over here. You ain't dead. First of all, get the hell out the car and come over here and talk to me face to face. Okay, didn't your mama teach you any manners? Alright, I got you.
What the hell is... Is it fresh? Nah, man. Hook it up.
No, I'm not. Nigga.
Alright, so it's just a way that you can play with it, and just it gives you a more different ways, so you don't have to do any real audio editing yet. You have the individual lines and you just kind of piece them together. If you need to replace just one line, then this workflow just allows you to replace that one line. In the future, the way that I see this working a little bit more is like, if I want to use a different actor to do the same character in a different language, I could just go in there and replace the individual lines on the master file, and it'll just, reload and just import the new audio file and just replace those lines. It'll also work with ADR later on. If like I didn't like the way a line was expressed and I just want to change it, I just called my guy. Hey, pull up this app on your iPhone and record line 121 again for me, and they'll just send it in. And this works really good on your cell phone, because like cell phones these days, like I was talking about earlier. I mean, cell phones are like, you're walking around with $1,000 camera and microphone system as is in your pocket. They got noise cancellation. They're built to capture voice. I mean, they're perfect. I mean, you don't have to worry too much about in-studio work anymore. It's like, just use your freaking phone, and they sound really good. I've already tested it, and they sound decent. Some of them, depending on how you're holding the phone to your face, they might get that little ting or whatever you want to call it on the voice that sounds like a cell phone. But that's It's just a matter of holding the phone like you're holding a phone, or using those little headphones that have the microphone that capture your voice like right next to your face. I mean, that's why they're built that way. If you look at a lot of these YouTubers and stuff, they're using iPhone earpods as their microphone for their videos, because they sound great. So why not, So yeah, this app works perfectly fine on your cell phone, on your computer. If you have the whatever microphones you want.
Sorry, I don't have an answer for that.
Shut up. It's my AI assistant responded. Alexa. I changed the word Alexa to the C word. So now when I say the C word, because I'm finding that a lot of people, like on videos, they use that word Alexa a lot. So they were turning it on. So I'm going to use the less common word, and I still run into it. What was I going to show? Fuck, I forgot. God damn it. I need to stop drinking so much sugar. Okay, Rand, did you get to listen in on the when we're listening to your voice files? So, anyways, this is an interface that I built for capturing recording online, like for my film, like specifically. So I place the scripts in a folder, and they get automatically listed here. A screenshot of the actor or the character. Any recordings that I do locally, I could just drop in here, and they go straight into the server. That's that one right there.
The horn blows. How about the driver? The horn blows.
And they just get, they could put on the server where I could just download them specifically for that character, and I drop them into my project file. As you're adding files, now these are immediate, okay? So these files basically, these are the files that are immediately available for that one character. So when you're recording with this, clicking upload, it's going to send them to a different server. So the way that I recommend is that you are using the recorder from within here. Testing 1 2 1 2. Shliggity bing bam boom hatsu. Download it. Once it's downloaded, just put it back in the server into this particular character's thing. And I think this would be it. Testing 1 2 1 2.
Yeah.
Shliggity bing bam boom hatsu. Testing 1 2. So there you go. So that's how I recommend working with these. So yeah, this is a pretty nifty little tool. It seems like it's working really good for me. Sounds great. In fact, One Gun, why don't you give this character a shot, bro? If you want to give it a shot, go to toontitan.com/sides/Raul. Pick a script and read a line from it. Like this. Great, looks like the whole team is here. Cornerman, manager, and the promoter. Me. Great, looks like the whole team is here. Cornerman, manager, and the promoter. Me. Just play around with it. Give me a line. Let's see how you can pull it off, and we'll play it for everybody else who's watching this. If you're still here. Otherwise, I'm just gonna continue working on my sides here. I got some more characters to add. Let's see. So what's everybody doing this Monday? Are you streaming today, One Gun? All right, so those two files are the files that are up there on the server. And let's see, I need to redo the sides for Raul because I've noticed that they don't have the lines. So I have to do that all over again. But at least I know which files I need. So let's start with episode 1. So we'll go here, script for episode 1, file, create sides, and I'm going to clean out my downloads folder so it's not so confusing. All right. All scenes, and we need Raul. He's in 2 scenes. We're gonna make sure we show dialogue numbers on the right side. Hit download. Show in folder. Raul. Episode 1. All right. How do I close this? There it is. Now we'll go to episode 2. File, create sides, all scenes, Raul. This way it only exports the relevant scenes for that character, so that when I hand out these scripts to the voice actors that are working remotely, they are basically just they just get in the relevant files to them and what they need to do. Complete. No. Yeah. Show dialogue numbers on the right. Download. Rename. Raul, episode 2. All right, then we're gonna do episode 6. So he shows up on episode 6. Create sides. Compile. Show dialogue numbers on the right. And let's see. Download. Raul, episode 6. Just need 8 and 10. Close. We're 8, 8, 8. Now I wish that it would give me the line numbers based on the primary script. It's giving me line numbers to this specific set of sides. When I click create sides, it's not giving me the real line numbers, but it's still easy enough for me to track them because they're going into line numbers that are relevant to this character. So it's fine. Just means I still have to do some renaming. Download. So this was episode 8. And and episode 10. You were? Why'd you stop? I was just about to start looking for you on YouTube. I was like, well, if he's streaming, I'm just gonna go offline and look at what he's doing. At this point, I'm just kind of doing boring shit. So this is episode 10. Create sides. Roll. Compile. Put the dialogue numbers on the right. And download. So roll episode 10. So now that I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yep, the five episodes that I need. Did I close my file manager? I'll go to roles folder. Go to scripts. I'll just delete what's already there. And I will upload So now when we go to the Raul, what do you call this? An ingestion page? So now we have the new scripts. I'll pull up episode 1. And yep, episode 1 has the line numbers. Oh shit, it kept the lines. Okay. No, that's even better. It kept the original line numbers. Because see, this is the first page, but it's showing it as line number 29, line number 30. So that's perfect. Oh yeah, that's even better. I for some reason I thought it was giving them like line. It was always starting from scratch. You need to be blocked. Why? True Bones. Why do we need to block True Bones? He's just gonna find another way to get in. Hey, don't you have admin access? I mean, if that's what you want to do, do it. Dude's just gonna find a... Yeah, I know. Well, you know, I'll give you the, what do you call it? I think you have admin on my channel, so if you want to take it on your own discretion to block them, that's fine. I don't care. I mean, he doesn't hurt me, and he's just going to find another way around it. So, hey, Joe, how's it going? Hope you're having a good Monday. As far as I'm concerned, hate watching is watching. So, thank you for watching. Thank you for participating. The comments do help the algorithm. Were you able to find the last dragon? I canceled my Netflix, man.
Oh, that Cleopatra shit. That just. All right. I should make videos about stupid shit that I see on Netflix and all these review videos and stuff like that, because obviously that's what's making the YouTube channels blow up and stuff. People talking shit about movies and doing reviews and stuff. I mean, I had plenty to say about The Last of Us episode 3, which was complete bullshit. The episode was fine by itself. It just didn't belong there. And then you have it was that bad. I don't know if you're talking about The Last of Us or the Cleopatra thing. Cleo was really that bad. I watched the first 15 minutes of that on the Cleopatra thing. I couldn't do it, man. It's just such a well-known story. I am fine with race swapping. I don't care. You put what... I mean, acting is about acting. I'm not going to give people, like this whole thing about, you can't play this character because blah, blah, blah was white, blah, blah, blah was green, blah, blah, blah was... No, fuck that. Acting is acting. The actor puts himself in a position where they're going to play a character, and they're going to... Hopefully, if they do their job, they're going to make you believe in that character. I don't care what race you are. And I don't care what the original character that it was based on was. So there's a lot of the nonsense that I'm seeing on YouTube right now is because you have Cleopatra being played by a black woman. Who gives a fuck? She's an actress. If she can play Cleopatra as a black woman, fine. The problem that I have is that this is supposed to be a documentary. And even if it was a documentary, fine. It's a black actress. It doesn't matter what race you are. You're an actor. The problem is with me is that it's supposed to be a documentary, so you're talking about facts. And this show starts with Cleopatra was black. No, she wasn't. But I'm okay if the actress wants to be black. But you're literally saying as an educated person in a documentary, I don't care what they taught you in school. My grandma said Cleopatra was black. Dude, come on, man. That just throws everything out of the water already. And then you start going into this whole thing about the Library of Alexandria, and a lot of the shit just didn't really happen. And it's like such common knowledge. And it's like, it's supposed to be a documentary. I mean, if they wanted to do it as a mockumentary, I would have accepted it. I love that thing about that band. I forgot what the name of the band was. They made a mockumentary about that. Dude, even fucking Animal Planet, they did that show on mermaids. It was a fake documentary. They presented it as documentary. But it was such a ridiculous concept, and you knew it was fake to begin with. So, okay, this is a fake documentary, or this is a piece of entertainment presented as a documentary. But no, these guys are literally saying this is a documentary. This is what happened. They got, I don't know what to say about it, man. Liz Taylor. I can't watch old movies anymore. I remember that version being really interesting to me when I was a kid, but watching a lot of that old stuff now, based on the way that acting has evolved, it's kind of subpar. The best Cleopatra that I've seen so far was on Rome, on HBO's Rome. That lady fucking killed it. She did a fucking amazing job. And even if they got some of the historical things, not so right, that's fine. They're not a documentary. It's an entertainment piece. You watch that show, the Godfather of Harlem, with what's his name, Whitaker, I think. Yeah. What was it? I forgot. That's not his name. The Godfather of Harlem. You got Malcolm X in there. You got Martin Luther King in there. You got all these people, and while it's based on historical events and things, some names have been changed, blah, 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 all that shit. They tell you up front, this is a piece of entertainment. It's based on historical facts, but it's not a documentary. It's made for you to be entertained. It's great to watch, The the mermaid thing. It was fucking awesome, dude. When the first time I saw that mermaid documentary, I was like, dude, it made me question. It made me question what I knew for like 30 minutes. And then I'm like, no, this can't be real. And yeah, it was revealed that it was a fake shit. You knew it was a fake. And okay, you know. But these guys, I mean, they're standing their ground and they're going, you know, we want to represent Cleopatra as black and reimagining. How the fuck do you reimagine a documentary? That's going to create a whole genre all on its own. Yeah, no, I feel bad for the actress, you know, because having done a little acting myself, I know what the industry is like from from that perspective. And this actress, she's a good actress, man. She's beautiful. Is charismatic, and if it wasn't for a lot of the political stuff behind the scenes, she did her job. She, as an actress, she killed it. And the sad thing is that she's gonna be forever stigmatized and attached to this project. This is an actress who thought she was going to do something big. Probably was going to be her big break. You know, Jada Pinkett Smith, the big name producer. She carries a lot of weight to her name, regardless of the controversies. Okay, that's something else. Regardless of the controversies, Jada Pinkett Smith carries a lot of weight to her name. Something that she's producing is going to be seen by a lot of people. It's going to be put out there. This was going to be this actress's big shot, and it could have led to other projects, you know, other things, doing bigger films and being noticed and stuff. But now she is attached to this thing, and it's not her fault. She's just an actress and she did her job. Unfortunately, you know, it's everybody else behind the thing. So I feel bad for that actress, because as an actor, she did her job and she did a good job, and she's beautiful and she deserves a shot. And hopefully she's able to walk away, you know. Hopefully she doesn't open her mouth too much like that other lady, you know, what was her name from the Woman King? If you don't come and watch this movie, you're a racist. Hopefully she could just kind of stay, you know, keep it to yourself for a while. Keep auditioning. Maybe you'll be able to land on your feet. Yeah. Whenever I try to watch some of the old stuff, like the Liz Taylor stuff, even like the old Planet of the Apes with Charlton Heston, you know, that was a good movie. But it's like, it was just a different style of acting and filmmaking, and like the shots take so long, and the acting is so bland and boring, and I can't get through it anymore. I did when I was a kid, but that was the convention, you know. It was a different type of. I don't have the patience for that. I don't know if it's like the internet thing has given everybody ADD, where like the cuts have to be fast and everything has to like just move forward like really fast, but I just can't. I can't do like long take movies and movies where they. I can still watch the Twilight Zone just fine. The original Twilight episodes, for some reason, I'm able to watch those over and over and over again. But you sit me down with a lot of the old Disney movies and like stuff like that Liz Taylor thing, and you know, Ben-Hur, Charlton Heston stuff. It's so boring to me now. It's really hard for me to keep my eyes open, even though, you know, for what they might have been really good films. That movie Around the World in 80 Days, the original one, that was a fucking epic movie, man. They spent so much money on that. They filmed it all over the world. They had all these name actors from that time period doing cameos in there. And I try to watch that now. I can't sit through it, man. All right, so I am going to, I think I fixed this. So now I have Raul's lines with No, it did keep the line numbers based on the immediate script. So it did. It's not giving me the accurate line numbers as they relate to the primary film. I don't think, or do they? Yeah, I think it is per episode number. Okay, yeah, it is doing it. I'm just so used to seeing like these huge line numbers and stuff, but I realized that this character, and like in these, like let's take a look at episode 10. Let's see how that shows up. Line 1. Yeah, and that's because that's like the very first scene in episode 10. That makes perfect sense. That's what threw me off. All right, so I'm gonna fix the scripts now for the other character, and I'm just gonna keep doing this. This is a really, really boring process at this point. So I think I did Frank. I'm gonna do Alice Romano next. Hey Joe, are you still here? You want to try a little voice acting? You want to give it a you want to try doing a character? Just for shits and giggles. I mean, I don't know. Would be interested to hear your voice as one of these characters. If you want. Besides Alice. Why is that not in here? Oh, because I haven't done him yet. Okay, that's perfect. So which is the one that I need to fix? I'm all turned around now. I need to do Alice Romano because that's the character that I really want Rand to play. I think his voice lends itself like perfectly for that character. So I would like for him to be able to do... Final Draft is really good. I think One Gun uses Final Draft. I've been using Celtics for a while, and I just kind of got used to it because it was free for the longest time. Well, it's still free. You can work on one script for free. And there's a hack that you can do with Celtics, like if you're doing episodes. I'm going to tell you something that could be illegal, but it's not illegal yet. So, but it's there. In Celtics or Celtics, whenever you get access to one script for free. So it could be a movie, it could be whatever. But if you want to do episodic stuff, you have to do the monthly payments. Now, the cool thing is that you don't lose your stuff, so you can subscribe for 1 month, use as much as you want, and then cancel it. And if you worked on episodes and you worked on all sorts of stuff while you had it, you get to keep those scripts. They're not going to delete your stuff. So one of the things that I've done in the past and people can do is, go ahead and write your episodes out or create placeholders for your episodes. You're probably not going to finish in a month, but when your month runs out, you still have access to that stuff. You can continue working on it. And they're not going to remove your stuff, It's just when you have to do some new things and add more stuff. Okay, you got to subscribe for another month. Right now, I'm paying for it because I'm working with I needed the ability to generate the sides, and so that wasn't. I needed to re-enable that, so I am doing the monthly thing right now until I'm done with that. I wanted the ability to generate shot lists. But yeah, no, Final Draft, I haven't used it in over 10 years, but it's a really good tool. I use this one because for the longest time they had a standalone version that was free. And I like working with it, the simplicity. And I eventually got around to warming up to the online version. It's still not as good as the standalone version was. But take a look at this. Like I can have like this is a feature that I like. Shot list. I can select this section of my thing. So I could go 2 years later, Odessio, blah 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 blah. Select that, and I'll give it a shot list, and I can add an image to it, And that's essentially generating my storyboards as I work. So I can come in here. Let's see here. So these are the different shots that I've created for scene 1. And they look like that, it's nothing fancy. But I think create size, I have this already in script. Let's see here, view. Hang on, somewhere in here. Is it under the print file? Let me see, print. There's my shot list. So I'm essentially generating my storyboard directly from my script. And what I'm doing is, like, from Stable Diffusion, I'm just generating the storyboard images using prompts. I grab a section of the script and I add an image from Stable Diffusion in here, and I'm just generating my script. And of course, I mean, that I can take it further, because now that I have my script, I can generate animatics. Let's see here. Fade in. Interior Emiliano's nightclub, night. A boisterous, unruly crowd gathers around two fist fighters in a local bar. Odessio, 23, and his opponent Buttercup, 25, an imposing MAGA hat-wearing hillbilly, over twice his build, are handcuffed to each other with only a few feet of rope between them. They are participating in a Texas strap match, where the only winning conditions are to touch all four corners of the ring in sequence. This usually requires beating down the opponent to the point where they can no longer prevent you from completing this objective. There is no submission or countdowns. The only way to win is to touch all four corners of the ring in an uninterrupted sequence. Odessio is severely injured and can barely stand up. Buttercup delivers one powerful blow after another. Among the crowd is a thin black man, Taco, 21, who fights his way towards the makeshift ring, which is made up of hay bundles and broomsticks. He screams in desperation for somebody to stop the match, but his cries fall upon deaf ears. The fight is intensive, but clearly Odessio is way in over his head. Buttercup wraps the strap around Odessio's neck and proceeds to strangle him. There seems to be very little life left in Odessio as the hillbilly delivers a brutal elbow to the back of his neck, sending him face flat into the muddy ground. Buttercup proceeds to work the crowd as he wraps the straps around his forearms and Odessio's neck. He then proceeds to touch the corners of the ring while dragging Odessio around. Taco jumps into the ring in an effort to put a stop to this fight. He climbs onto Buttercup's back and struggles to bring him down, but his attempt is futile. The hillbilly reaches over and pulls him. He tosses him across the room like an old rag. Taco lands on a pile of hay, yet despite his ineffectiveness against the giant, he crawls back to his feet, grabs a steel chair, and once again casts himself onto the giant just as he is about to pull Odessio and make his way towards the final corner of the ring. People laugh and cheer. Taco strikes the hillbilly on his back with the chair and gains his attention once again, but only to have the chair taken off his hands and get slapped squarely across the face with it, tearing off half his face in the process. He is out cold, and Buttercup once again turns towards Odessio, who is making one last attempt to break free and back on his feet. The giant opponent grabs Odessio, lifts him up high in the air like a sack of potatoes, and brutally slams him down onto the ground. He continues to drag him as he touches the final corner and claims victory. He lets go of Odessio in order to celebrate, and despite having already won the match, he still elects to send one last brutal kick square onto Odessio's face, rendering him unconscious. Cut 2. So all of those images I made using Stable Diffusion. So I basically was working on select this section here, and I would turn that into a prompt in order to generate the image. Select that section there for that shot, turn that into a prompt, and generate an image from that. and then that section into its own image, and so on. And that allowed me to just kind of drop the image in here under shot list. And you know, it already has the text in there. So I could just, you know, continue with that workflow. All right, I'm going to do a shot for this section of the script from here to here maybe, and turn that into a shot and add an image to that. And it's just, you know, it continues to get saved that way. For the actual animatic part, I use Camtasia. Let's see here. And you know, you can use like Storyboarder or, you know, things like that. But this thing, I mean, realistically, this thing is already just kind of built for this thing, you know. I don't know if I have any. Here's some concept art. Okay, so here's an image, one of the images. You just drop it in here. And so you already have that. And you can go into animation. I don't want any of that. Those are pre-made stuff. Let's say I just want to zoom in like that. So you'll notice what happened is that it automatically created an animation of the image zooming in. So I could just boom, just kind of, you know, just simulate the camera movement. And there we go. So I can get my other panel that I generated inside of Stable Diffusion, drop it in there again. I have that. And we can just do another animation. And you can go, you know, zoom in, zoom out, pan left, pan right, do whatever you want. So it kind of, you no longer really need, you don't have to have that bloated storyboarding software, especially if you're no longer drawing because you're generating your images in Stable Diffusion. This thing just allows you to composite the stuff together. You want to put a little transition in there, you know. Let's try. Let's see if we can find a basic fade. Wow, they added a lot of new transitions in here. All right, let's just drop this one in here real quick. There you go. So you got a little transition between things. So for creating animatics and stuff, you take your storyboard panels that you did with your shot list, and you could just piece them together, put an audio track here, go in here. This is a quick voice narration. If it sounds great, wait a minute, I used the wrong microphone. Virtual voice mod, cancel, yes. I'll choose. Or better yet, I could take one of my voices that I've been recording, and if I can find them, temp audio. Let's see here.
Damn, look at that. Special of the day.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. So you grab whatever audio belongs to that scene, and you could just start piecing your scene in there.
Damn, look at that. Special of the day.
Whatever. So, you know, you can easily put together a presentation like that without a lot of effort. Camtasia is I think I paid like $99 for this program. It's fairly cheap. It's intended to be used for screen recordings, but then I like realized one day, you know what? This thing has all the basic camera movements and stuff. Let me use that. And between Stable Diffusion, I mean, using this to kind of organize my shots this helps. And based on each shot, I'll generate an image in Stable Diffusion. And as I export the stuff, you know, eventually, if I want to put this whole scene together as an animatic, I can just do it inside of Camtasia, piece it together and stuff. It seems to work really good. So what I'm going to do here, I'm going to get back to work. Rename, copy. I'm going to copy that one over to Alice. And Alice is a man, Alice Romano, like Alice Cooper. I'm going to edit the title here. Edit. Da-da-da-da-da. Alice is Sean's father. And I do believe I have a picture of him. It's this old man here, fucking mobster guy. So now that I have that, let's see what it looks like. So we have a section for him to have his picture, the scripts, and the ability to upload the stuff. So I gotta tweak a few things here. Let's see. Do I have his scripts? No, that was Raul. Okay, so let's upload his picture first. And that's not how you do it. Click the upload button. I'm using this page, by the way. Jesus, that's a 21 megabyte picture? No, we don't need to do that. Let's see if we can make it smaller. Okay, where did it go? All right. I'm gonna upload it again. Yes, we're gonna overwrite it. And we're just gonna rename this screenshot.jpg. God damn it. What the hell? So now this should just read the image. Screenshot. It could be because I'm using the wrong format. Let me see here. Because it's technically a PNG file. Let's see here. Let's keep the name. All right. And somewhere in here. Oh, I found another shot. I did all that work for nothing. Here's a Alice Romano picture. Upload. Okay. Oh, that's why he didn't do it. I'm naming it wrong. It's headshot, not screenshot. Man, I'm an idiot. I need coffee. Let's see if that shows up, even without converting it to a JPEG. Yeah, there it is. All right, let's use the other image though. All right, so right now it's showing Sean's scripts. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go to Celtics. Did you want me to do Sean's lines sort of in the cadence of Antonio Banderas? Just no. Find a way to make it your character. I mean, that's how the character was written, and when I was creating the character, that's how I imagine him. And he should. I mean, I like your voice, so I don't want you to change anything about how you speak or everything. I want you to keep everything as natural as possible in your own voice. As a character, this guy is just a filthy rich millionaire. He's from Texas. They run a dairy farm, but don't try to do like a Texas accent. A lot of people here in Houston and Texas and stuff, they don't have that Texas twang. That's something that shows up in movies a lot. Just kind of keep it as natural to your own voice as possible. But as far as the performance, yeah, he's a little bit stuck up. He's very stuck up. He's rich. He thinks he can buy anything. I'll give you an example. Like he's on the last line of episode 1. I mean, he's the main villain basically. So he's talking to this girl, right? And she used to be engaged to him a long time ago, but now she's back, and she doesn't really want anything to do with him. She's kind of found her own way. She's older now. She doesn't really want to get back into a relationship. And this guy, he thinks everything has a price. So he's like, there's a really good line up here. It's like, when he's talking about how he won all this money in Las Vegas. Well, I don't like to brag, but I did walk away with a few more $1 million than I went with. Luck has nothing to do with it. It's just nature, baby. When you're born to be a winner, all you can do is win. What can I say? That kind of attitude. So then at the last line, he's kind of threatening her. He's like, really like, he's like, bitch, I'm going to get you whether you like it or not, because I can get whatever I want. I can buy it. Either I'm going to manipulate my way into it, or I'm just going to flat out buy it, or one way or another, I'm going to get it. So he's like, and he lets her know. He's looking at her he's looking at her in her eyes, and he's threatening her. He's like, I suppose time will tell. Just one thing though. She's like, what's that? I was born to win. And you and I both know that sooner or later, I always get what I want. That kind of like a real assholey attitude, So that's kind of what I'm going with him. And like your voice tone, I think you can bring that out, because you got like that deep thing, and I think you can bring that out. Now if you start implementing like that rich guy, stuck up guy kind of attitude, I think you'll pull it off, man. I think you just gotta knock this character out of the park. Yeah, he has the last word on episode 1, and he's kind of threatening without being threatening. I don't know, but yeah. Find your own way of doing it. Play around with it. Add your own words to it. Don't read it. Don't exactly the way that I write it. You're the way I see. Well, you're a filmmaker too, so you already know what I'm talking about. The writer, the director, all these people. They're just like painting, all the actors and everything else you put into it. It's like those are the colors, those are the tools that you add, and every color is different. You're throwing it in there, and you want those to be unique. You don't. I'm not one of those controlling people. You got to say the line exactly the way I want it. If that was the case, I would just do it myself. But yeah, no, I think you can pull off this character, man. And actually, you know what? I let me look at this. I should probably fix this too before I continue. Yeah, see, you don't have line numbers. Let me fix your lines real quick and upload them. And you can work off of that, Sean. So let's get episode 1 redone for you. Export sides, create sides, all scenes. We need Sean's lines. Oh, there is a note though in the first in that scene. They're in a nightclub. I want you to be conscious of that. They're inside of a nightclub while they're talking. So the talking wouldn't just be normal, at least not at first, because we got to get the audience some time to get used to the fact that they're in a nightclub. So even though there's no music around you, you've been in a nightclub. It's noisy. So like the first lines, they're walking towards their table. They haven't gotten to their little VIP room yet. They're going to be talking to each other, but they're talking over music that's going to be playing loud. So yeah, play it off like, this is nothing. You should have been to Vegas. Just raise your voice and do it like you're actually talking over audio. This isn't just them at a coffee shop talking across the room from each other on a table, across the table. There is going to be loud music playing in the background. So the acting has to lend itself to the fact that there is audio in the background, and I'm going to put that audio later on once I build the scene, so it'll just match. So yeah, at first when you're delivering these lines, like, oh no, your brother just doesn't seem to get it. He is the boss of the company, blah blah blah, but he's speaking over that loud music. Once they're sitting around close to each other at a table, there's probably going to be like a VIP thing where I can use as an excuse so they can speak more normal, like that last line. Sooner or later, I always get what I want. That'll be more close up. He doesn't have to speak over the music, because at this point there's probably going to be a door that's blocking the loud music from coming into the VIP area. Oh, that sounds great. I just saw that first line. I guess I wasn't reading the entire thing that you were putting in there. So yeah, definitely. If you can use the little online app, man, it just makes everything smoother. It records cleanly. I don't care too much about mastering the audio. It already does a pretty good job at it by itself. But later on, I'm going to be doing a mastering thing on all the lines. So at that point, I'm going to do additional cleanup and, raising, lowering volumes, removing background noises, things like that. But for this purpose, the lines just work just fine. So yeah, so here is episode 1 script. I'm going to put the lines to the right. Download. Show in folder. Okay, we're gonna call this episode 1, Sean episode 1, and I'll go ahead and start uploading them. Well, I'll upload episode 1 first, just in case you want to get started right now. because I had made that mistake. Like if you look at like these other episodes here, like episode 6, I forgot to put the line numbers on there. But now that I uploaded episode 1, fuckity fuck, what happened? Oh, I need a refresh. Oh, come on, man. Did I not do it properly? Yeah, it's got line numbers. Let's see here. Oh. Oh, I see what I did. Scripts. Sean, episode 1. Okay. Delete. I uploaded it to the wrong folder. Alright, so now we refresh. So this is the new episode 1. So this one has lines number. So if you wanted to get started right now, you have this one to work with. Now this one has the line numbers in there, so you can use the app now to like, okay, line 100 and blah blah blah. I'm starting to see the benefit to customize the number, because increasing this to line 122, 111, that's going to be a pain in the ass to have to do this. But you can press and hold it, and just hold it there until it reaches 111. But yeah, I should probably make it editable and just find another way to, like, for the security purposes. There it is. So season 1, episode 1, line number 111. You can leave that alone unless you're just redoing it something else. But the take numbers are going to get advanced for you automatically. Pick your microphone and record. And once you record, just download it to your computer first. Don't hit the upload button. Download it to your computer first, and then from your computer drag it into here, and that way it ensures that it goes directly into that particular folder. That's the best way to do it. So yeah, let me get the rest of these files though. Let's see here. So he is also on episode 4. I need to fix that one. Yeah, man, these little apps, like I said, I was talking about this earlier. They make sense to me, and I guess there's a reason why people haven't developed apps that work like this to let you capture stuff remotely and organize things and be able to piece them into a pipeline, because it's like a niche audience type of thing, you know. It's not that common, so as a commercial product, I don't think this thing would sell, maybe to 1 or 2 people out there eventually. But it works for me, and that's kind of how I usually end up building stuff, because I feel like I need something like this to work with, and it's useful to me, you know. So episode 6. This guy's a fucking asshole. You know, the thing about this movie is, if it wasn't for this one scene in the whole movie, and technically I can still rewrite that scene, but if it wasn't for this one scene in the whole movie, the main villain and the main hero of the film would never even come in contact with each other. It's like a very weird, well, not weird, but it's a different type of writing where the main antagonist and the protagonist don't really have this super like interaction between themselves. They never even have to come in contact with each other for the film to work. But I did put a scene in the middle of the film where this guy hires a bunch of goons, and he's there in person to deliver a message to beat up the main protagonist. So if it wasn't for that one scene, these guys would never even meet in the film. So here I am. He's in 3 scenes on this episode 6. Gotta make sure I put the dialogue numbers. Now I can download that, rename it Sean episode 6. The next one would be episode 7. Is it episode 7? What the hell? No, it can't be episode 7. Maybe I mislabeled them. Sean, episode 8. Yeah, I mislabeled it. Good thing I caught this. Sean episode. But I mean, I guess it's cool. Like, I mean, this is one of the things that I like watching other people work, and you know, people who watch me work and stuff. We get ideas from each other, you know. And if this workflow is something that you can implement in your own workflow, and by all means, you know, hey, hell, let me know how I can improve these tools. You know, I can put them online, make it available. Like the recording tool, I'm definitely gonna leave at toontitan.com for anybody to use free. You know, just it's a tool. You know, it should be just a simple thing. If somebody needs a quick recording, it's easy enough. People should just be able to use it. Maybe I'll just put together a bunch of tools that people can use online like that. Okay, what episode did I just download? I think this was episode 10. No, this was episode 8. Oh, shit. Oh, I renamed it already. Okay. I'm all over the place. So let's go to episode 10. I'm missing something. Create sides. Sean, all scenes. Dialogue on the right. Download. Sean, episode 10. So this one has a 5 and 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 2, 3, 4. So episode 4 and 5, did I somehow miss those? Create sides, all scenes for Sean, compile, dialogue numbers on the right, download. Okay, that was episode 4. And episode 5. File, create sides, all scenes, Sean, compile, write, download. Sean episode. Yeah, 5. All right, so now that I have all my episodes, we're going to upload them. All right, we'll test it out. So refresh. So here's, of course, episode 1. We already saw that. Let me see. Just double check. There it is. Episode 6. Yep, they all have line numbers. All right, so now you have line numbers. So let's see here. This is episode 10, launch recorder. Season 1, episode 10, line 45. Yeah, this is kind of a, see, I don't like clicky dicky stuff, but this feels a little clicky dicky to me, where I have to go around just to get this thing. I gotta find a way so I can make it easier to just click on there and maybe just type in the number and just jump to it, you know. But I was thinking of, because this is going to be a public thing, I don't want people just putting in custom names in here, because then they start, you know, malicious people will put in code and things like that and upload it to the server on a file name, and they could seriously fuck my shit up. So take 1, line 45. Stay away from Lainey Watkins, or the next time I won't be so polite. And, you know, throw in those sound effects, because you know what's happening here is, oops, I'm recording. What's happening here, don't just read the line, look at the look at what's happening, okay? So when he's saying this, he's got a bat in his hand. This is like a flashback scene from a previous thing, but he's got a bat, and he takes that bat and he swings it and he hits the guy on his face and his head with the baseball bat. So throw in that, you know, you know, that motion. So I want to hear those little grunts and stuff, so I can edit those into the film also. So it's not just about reading the lines, you know, in character. Pay attention to the action, so that you can perform the lines. Like, okay, so this line, this is actually a flashback scene to one of the previous episodes, and I don't want to just use it again, because the way that I'm handling flashbacks is, even the flashbacks, people tend to remember things differently, so I don't just want to replay what already happened as a flashback. It's gonna be the same scene, but with a different tones, different angles. You might remember things differently, different POV, whatever. But yeah, this is from a scene where Sean has his goons around him, and he beats him, he hits him on his head with a baseball bat. So you can start out this line like he's back at the docks, and you can throw in some ad libs in there. Okay. I'm not gonna tell you again. Stay away from Lainey Watkins, or the next time I won't be so polite. Something like that. We'll review it. I'm not gonna tell you again. Stay away from Lainey Watkins, or the next time I won't be so polite. So you saw how I handled that? So basically, you throw yourself into the character. You know, perform. You know, you act emotions with sound and stuff. You're still giving me the lines. You can ad lib. You can change them any way you want. You know, once you become this character, you're gonna look at my lines and you're gonna be like, oh, that's bullshit. My character wouldn't say that this way. My character would say it like this. That's what I want. And perform the emotion. I mean, like, to me, this sounds pretty good, even if I do say so myself. You know, I can work with this. It's got the sound effects. You know, I can mix it in. I'm not gonna tell you again. Stay away from Lady Watkins. The next time, I won't be so polite. Yeah, that's fucking vicious, man. And if I do say so myself, most people hate their own voice. I hate my own voice when I'm listening to it myself. But that came out kind of decent. So once you have that, download it to your local machine. And boom, drop it in there and I'll receive it on my end. Yeah, that's all there is to it. Nice little pipeline, like you said, workflow. Yeah, don't try to imitate somebody else. You know, there's some people who can do a very good job at it. I would much rather just people just use their own natural voice, and you know, the best acting is when you're really not acting, you're pretending, and you remember yourself when you're a kid and you used to play pretend and play with your action figures, and you used to, G.I. Joe, I'll get you yet, you know, whatever. You know, that's when you're being like the truest to yourself as an actor, I think. You just forget about everything. You just is. All right, so I need to get Alice Romano's lines in here. I think I have him. Yeah, I'm still using Sean's stuff. What happened? I could have sworn I had Alice's lines already done. Let me look at my... Let's see here. Oh, I know what happened. I was working on Frank's lines. So I need to do Alice's, because Alice is the one that I want Rand to do. Alice scripts. Okay, we'll get rid of all of these. Hit delete. Alright, I'm just going to export all his lines one at a time. I'm pretty sure he's not in here. But I'm just going to run the search anyways. Come on. Oh well. I can't do a Control F. The find tool is not working. Alright, so script 1. I'm pretty sure he's not in here, but I just want to cover my bases. Create sides, all scenes. Alphabetical order. Okay. Let's look at episode 2. File. Create sides. Anna. Okay. File. Episode 4. Create sides. Alice. Here we go. Complete. Lines on the right. Download. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna put that one because I kind of like the way that line came out. Alice, Sean. I'm gonna put that in there just, I guess, for inspiration or whatever, just to have it on there so you can review that demo. I'm not gonna tell you again. Stay away from Lainey Watkins for the next time. I won't be so polite. That's a good line. Shit. If I do say so myself. Tooting my own horn over here. Okay, so Alice Romano, we got episode 4. Alrighty. Alright, we got episode 4 for Alice. Mr. Alice. He's such a badass, he doesn't give a fuck if he has a woman's name. Let's see here. So that was episode 4. Let's see if he's on episode 5. Oh, still loading. Create sides. Laney, okay, he's not in here. Let's look at episode 6. File. And I think he is in episodes 3. This guy is in episodes 3, 7, and 9. But I'm leaving those episodes off the production chart right now. I'm not concerned about those episodes. They have to do with, like, you know, cartel action, popcorn stuff, you know. I could easily publish this thing without those episodes. But we'll see. I'm leaving those episodes for if this thing actually finds a market, then I'll just do the George Lucas thing and, you know, hey, we have other episodes in this series. I'll go ahead and produce them now that I have money and add them to the series before we actually publish this. Or if I finish this thing before my target date, then I'll start working on those. But yeah, those are more like action-packed world-building episodes. And he is a little bit more involved in those actually because they have like more mafia-related stuff. So episode 6. Create sides. He's not in here. 8 script. File, print. He's in several other scenes also, but he doesn't have lines of dialogue. So I'm if I need additional grunts or whatever, or throwing a line, I can always bring that in. But these are the primary ones, I think, where he speaks and he has stuff in there. Production script, download. This was number 8. I know on the one of the alternate endings also features him because he's the father of the main villain, and he's kind of a villain himself. There's this wedding sequence where in one of the alternate endings, he's the one who shoots first, and big old shootout at the church. I'm a big believer in the show me, don't tell me aspect of filmmaking. I'd much rather show something than have to narrate it, you know. All right. Let me just make sure we have. That was episode 8. We're gonna skip episode. Oh, whoa. That was 6? Did I mislabel that? Create sides. Alice. Alright. 7, 8. I gotta make sure, man. I need my coffee today. Alice. Okay, so that was episode 8. Okay, we got that. Let's take a look at. I know we're not gonna do episode 9. We're skipping to number 10. And if y'all interested in reading the full scripts or whatever, yeah, I can make those available to y'all also. You guys can see where else in the script the character shows up. If y'all have any ideas that y'all want to input, I'm always open for that too. Create sides. Frank. Yeah, that's it. It's just those 2 episodes. So we are done with Alice. Alicio. So let's see. Alice, Frank, Raul, Sean. I should do a folder for just Taco, but I'm working with him locally here at the studio, so I don't know if I need to. But maybe I should just set it up so I can just use this particular format to capture his voice next time he comes in. No, I'm gonna continue doing it the way I've been doing it with him. What other characters that I need that are remotely? Probably Mama Maria. So we're going to take Alice, copy Maria, the fuck? Let's do it again. Oh, I saved it to a different directory. There she goes. I'll go in here. Edit. That's pretty much all I have to do for that. I'll get a headshot of her. two versions of her. This was like the original one. I darkened her up a little bit. This is closer to what the final version's gonna look like. And she's a Garifuna, really, so she doesn't need to be this light colored. Garifuna is black people from Honduras. They were, their history is really, really interesting, man. They came over during the colonial times as slaves. They toppled the ships over. They shipwrecked themselves, and they found their way like around the Caribbean, and they interbred with the local natives, and they kept themselves from becoming slaves. You know, they built, and so the entire colonial period they never allowed themselves to become slaves, and they have their language. I mean, they're basically black people now, you know, and their language is it's like a combination of like these African dialects and Native American and Spanish. So it's a really cool culture. Upload. It's one of the reasons that in North America, the slaves here, they weren't allowed to be taught to read, because during that time period, you had like in Haiti, you had the revolution, you had in Central America, you know, all these slaves just escaping and, you know, just becoming free and stuff. They didn't want the slaves up north here reading about those things in the newspaper and stuff. It would give them ideas. Alright, I just gotta replace her scripts now. Maybe fix that. Edit. Okay, so now we can work with this character. All right, so we have, fuck, what happened to the little, missing a quote mark. My OCD kicks in every now and then. I don't know if I really have OCD, but I feel like I do. I identify as an OCD person sometimes. My pronoun is shalawala bing bang. You know what? I should upload some of her voice stuff and just have it so I can have it organized. What is this? I don't have it in that format.
Oh, damn it, Mama, what the hell?
Miss Laney called. She said you had an appointment with her today?
Yeah, she needs a driver's control. I don't have to do that till 12.
Son, what time do you think it is?
Oh, shit. Not a word.
Psh.
Oh, damn it, Mama! What the hell?
Miss Laney called. She said you had an appointment with her today.
Yeah, she needs a driver for her boat. I don't have to be there till 12.
Son, what time do you think it is?
Oh shit! Not a word.
Legendary heavyweight mixed martial arts champion Jack Han Grenade Hanna is once again taking the world of professional MMA by storm with his protege Odesio Robles. Mijo. Making his way up the ranks, Robles has logged in an impressive 21 victories since his impressive professional debut in Waco, Texas, just 8 months ago. ¡Ay, qué bueno! Oh, okay. Like, oh, okay. Son. Son, why don't you take a little walk with me? I'd like to show you the new laundromat I built using the money you sent.
Come on, Mom. I can't wait till tomorrow.
No, I can't wait. You are coming with me, and you are coming with me now. Apúrate, mijo. Do I have to get the chancla? Right.
Good morning, Mom.
What's so good about it?
Come on, Mom. Tell me you're still mad about last night, are you?
Oh, get off me.
Come on, Mama. Tell me you're still mad about last night, are you?
And why wouldn't I be? I almost lost you once over the same damn Don't speak with your mouth full. Que asco. Oh, son, before I forget, there was a boy here earlier. Said Taco wanted to see you. That he'd meet you over by the
I think I
docks.
might actually have all
Said
of
it was
her
important.
voice files already done.
What? Okay.
Well, aren't you going to eat?
No, Mama. You go see what Taco wants. Sorry, Mama.
What's so good about it? Oh, get off of me.
Come on, Mom.
Maybe I don't. Shit. I feel like I'm missing.
And why wouldn't I be? I almost lost you over the same damn shit. And still, you don't learn.
Just a one-time thing. What happened?
Yo no te quiero ver peleando. Son, you promised you weren't gonna fight anymore. Why would you?
Needed the money.
Yeah, I think I'm still gonna have to bring her in to finish the rest of her lines. I'm missing.
She said you had an appointment with her today?
Yeah, she needs a driver for her boat. I don't have to be there till 12.
Son, what time do you think it is?
The see if I can find this other one. Yeah, I think I still have to bring her in to finish the lines and redo a lot of them, because once I darkened her skin up a little bit and made her more garifuna, I wanted to, be the language and stuff, be representative. So I have we worked with a language consultant to get that taken care of. Now that has to be implemented. Apps. It can't be that. Let me see, where did I put that? Where's my file manager? Open level. Apps. Oh shit. I need to add this to this app. This is really more for my own recording purposes, but I need to implement that. There's this other app that I built for capturing the motion capture for the performance part. So this needs to be implemented into here so that I could just log into the character probably and perform it, you know, because basically this will take the audio file. Actually, you know what? Hang on. I'll grab it from this one. I probably should put, no, I shouldn't. I was going to say I should put a download button here so I can just download directly from here. But I don't think I should.
Hey.
I think this already has the option. There, I'll just grab it like that. So if I take this and drop it into this app, it'll allow me to play it at a reduced speed. So if I play it at 50%,
Hey, who you think you talking to, boy? I'm your boss. I could expel you from the team for insubordination.
nice and slow. And it'll loop
Hey,
over
who
and
you
over.
think you talk?
It'll loop over and over at that speed. By default, my personal work is at 50%. And the reason I do that, in case you haven't seen some of my previous streams, is that I'll get with the motion capture suit and I'll perform at 50%, whatever they're saying. Like, it allows me to emphasize the lines, make movements and stuff like that against the slow motion audio. So then I'll take my motion capture, I'll speed it up ×2, and it'll basically synchronize itself with the audio at 100%. The end result is that I get a more nuanced performance in accordance with traditional animation. It's not a very realistic performance, but for the purpose of animation, it tends to read more like traditional animation because you're throwing in expressiveness and motions and movements all within a compressed amount of time, and you have the time to synchronize things like raising your fists in the air while he's saying something and then bringing it down and weaving and bobbing your head and doing things that you normally at real time you can't do. You just end up looking kind of stupid. Yeah, actually that's what I should do next. After this stream, I'm gonna come back. I'm gonna set up. I'm gonna play with some of these files that Rand has sent me. I'm gonna try to animate him just for testing purposes because ideally I don't know, what do you guys think? Maybe I'll let you guys do the casting for me. Anybody else who's watching this, I initially sent this to Rand so he could play with it, you know, just so we can test the app and everything as a goof. But I do see Rand playing Alice Romano, you know, the mafia guy, badass, you know, just I see him doing a really good job with that character. So that's kind of who I have in mind for him. That's what I want him to do. Anybody watching this stream, you think his voice fits this character? Let me know. Maybe we'll just give him this character. The original idea behind this character, Raul, is more of a Danny DeVito type. Like, hey, lady, what are you talking about? You know, yeah, he's more like that. But like I said, you know, actors, they create the characters for you. Sometimes they show you something that you didn't see yourself. So if you guys, you know, why don't you guys put it up to a vote? Let me know. Should Rand play Raul, which he has already sent me a demo for?
Hey, who you think you talking to, boy? I'm your boss. I could expel you from the team for insubordination.
I think it works great. I want to hear what he sounds like playing Alice. I mean, personally, I think he'll kill it with Alice. He'll do a better job. But this character's kind of up for grabs too. So we'll see. Hey, I'm open to suggestions, guys. But I do have this little bit of audio, so in a minute, I'm gonna take myself a little lunch break. Um, who else do I need to do? Because I don't want to leave anybody out. I think I got most of the remote people. I have a page for them with the sides already. I might spend some time just tweaking the stuff for Mama Maria. I think I got everybody else. I mean, that's the cool thing about this thing. I mean, the thing is, most of the audio work I've already done. It's already done, you know. I might do a page for my own lines because ultimately I'm leaving my lines till the end, my actual lines. Episode 1. In order to finish episode 1, I need Raul, and I need Sean and Laney. I need a cast Laney. I've been holding out on Laney because I can't find the right female voice, and I haven't put too much of a priority on it because I've been focused on the technical stuff. But now I am actually working on the audio and piecing everything together now. So in order to finish episode 1, I do need Raul, Sean, Laney. I think I have a Chris. I think I have all those other ones done. I'm gonna have to do one more review on that. But I think it's just like 2 scenes that I'm missing from these episodes. Let me take a look. Arms, legs, feet. Why do I have all these body part folders? Where's my temp audio folder? Sort by name. RS temp audio. So I think I have all the scenes. Let's see. Scene 1. Scene 1 is empty because there's no dialogue. Scene 1, I showed the animatic for that earlier. Scene 1 is just a brutal fucking fight scene. That's how we start. Scene 2, that one's done. I might have to tweak some of the dialogue.
Shut up! The horn blows. How about the driver?
Man, shut that shit up.
No, you shut up.
Hey, did you take care of that errand I asked you for?
First of all, what you ain't about to do is yell at me from a personal parking lot. Get your ass out that car and get over here and talk to me face to face. Didn't your mama teach you any manners? You ate something?
Nah, man. Hook it up.
Yeah, I got you. Boom, I'm gonna take this right here. I'm gonna mix this up in this little thing. Day.
What the hell is... Alright, so... yeah. So now scene 3, I think that's complete. Scene 3 is just like a quick cutaway. And see, but I am missing Raul. So Raul is in this scene here.
Raul, this kid you keep talking about, is he gonna show?
No worries, Mr. Hanna. He'll be here. I hope.
Raul.
If that voice sounds familiar, that's because sounds a lot like the what's his name, the Allstate guy. You're in good hands, you know, with Allstate.
Raul, this kid you keep talking about, is he gonna show?
No worries, Mr. Hanna. He'll be here. I hope.
Raul.
That's an AI voice on not Mr. Hanna. The Raul voice, the temporary voice, that was done with AI, and it sounds terrible. It just sounds like he's overly excited for no reason. There's no acting. There's no performance. There's no way to like make it like perform.
No worries, Mr. Hanna. He'll be here. I hope.
Raul.
Yeah, stupid. But you know, for temporary purposes, it works fine. Scene 4. Oh, I think I love this scene. I think this is the scene. Hang on.
Damn, bro. Why they gotta be so tight?
Oh
for?
yeah, I love
I can't
this
even
scene.
feel my damn fingers.
Just shut that shit up. Sitting here whining like a Shakira concert.
Oh yeah, keep talking. You keep talking your shit, motherfucker. Keep talking your shit. If it wasn't because I thought you'd like it a little too much, I'd give you a spanking right now.
What the hell that's supposed to mean?
You know what it means.
Oh, so you got jokes. That's what we doing today?
Ain't no joke,
No,
bro.
yeah,
Everybody knows.
Everybody know. Okay, that's what we doing. We got jokes today. Okay, cool. You know what? You bet.
Will y'all just shut the fuck up already? Y'all do know that they're waiting on us, right?
See what you did? Now you done gone and pissed off the boss lady.
You better believe it.
Come here, baby.
Okay. Now listen. I've been watching you. Okay? So don't you let that corn-fed nigga fool you. I done seen this dude punch through bricks without even flinching. But see, the good thing is, he's slow. So as long as you stay away from his right fist, you should be good. Hello? Odie, listen to me. Did you hear what I said? Stay away from his right fist.
Yeah, I got it. Damn, bro. Bricks don't hit back, alright? Damn. Wine. You got more wine than Amy fucking Winehouser.
You got more wine than a fucking liquor store, nigga. I'm trying to help you.
You got more wine than Olive Garden.
You got more wine than the countryside.
Oh, God. You guys are cheesy.
Nah, baby, you know him. He whined so damn much, it was only a matter of time before the cheese came out.
Oh, God. Ew. No, stop it. That's terrible.
Oh, so you want to play? Because I bet you don't make it to that stage.
I don't play, bro.
Oh, you know?
You got something?
You want something?
I got something
Come
for
get
you.
some then.
You come and get it.
Tonya, you got my back?
Yeah, 2 against 1?
Yo.
Oh, let's do this.
Let's go.
do this. Come on,
Let's
bring
go.
it. Bring
Which
it. What
one
you
is-
got?
Hey, no. Get off me. Move.
What you got?
Stop, Odie. We gonna be late. Let's go.
That's what I thought.
No, move. I swear I'm finna kick you in your face.
Damn, bro. Why they gotta...
Love that scene, man. It's gonna be such a cool scene. Let's see, 5. That one's done. Think. Oh, this is a Heckle and Jekyll scene, man.
Oh, why you gotta keep looking at your watch for? You late for something? Who you got on the next fight?
Nah, I'm straight, nigga. I'm white around the mouth as it is. What you know about all I got left is my baby mama food stamp.
You tripping shit, bird. What you know about? I'm about to drop this wad on that Mexican nigga.
Robles? Fuck that nigga. He ain't nothing. I saw that dude get knocked the fuck out back in the day at Emilio's. I'm surprised the nigga's still alive. Besides, that ain't no Mexican. He's Honduran.
Man, what the fuck is a Honduran?
It's like a Mexican, but from Central America some shit. Bitch, what the fuck do I know? Do I look like a Mexicanologist professor some shit?
The stupid little laugh at the end. I don't know if I'm gonna keep that. It's a little too much. So scene 6. I seem to be missing scene 6. Why is scene 6 missing? What is scene 6? Let me see here. Why am I missing scene 6? I could have sworn I finished it. I just need like 2 more scenes. It's taking forever to load. There we go. So that's scene 5, scene 6. Yeah, I finished this scene already. I don't know where it is. I must have saved it somewhere else accidentally. Need to make a little note to myself to come back and fix that. That's just a quick scene. Number 7. Okay, this is a really good scene. I'm not gonna play this whole thing though. This is the crazy scene. This is the set piece of the entire episode.
Ah, yeah, here we go, Mr. Hanna.
I hope you didn't drag me all the way down here for nothing.
Me too. I mean, you just keep your eyes on this kid, okay?
Silencio, camarada, ya estamos listos para este próximo combate. Para los que no están familiarizados, aquí, si te rompen la madre, ya valiste verga. Pero se te dará la cortesía de un conteo de 10 segundos. Cállense a la chingada, cabrones. Gracias. Este domo es sagrado. Si te sales o te...
He's just going through like the rules and stuff, and he's like just throwing a lot of like insults at UFC and MMA in general. You know, he's like, I'm not gonna allow you guys to grab ass each other on my ring. If you guys gonna sit around grapple and grab ass each other, I'll be happy to pay for your hotel afterwards. Blah blah blah. You know, he's just talking shit about the UFC in general. It's a fun little sequence. She's giving them the rules, and then the fight starts.
Que gane el mejor.
Oh damn!
And at that point, they just plant like they just punch the shit out of him. He falls to the ground, and it's like nobody expected him to be that weak. Basically, just fell on his ass automatically. This is after you saw the first scene where he got his ass kicked, so it's like everybody thinks it's gonna be like a repeat of whatever happened before.
Man, you better stay down. I got my next week's lunch on this, man.
Okay. He's got this. He's just putting on a show.
Didn't see that coming.
So at that point, he starts getting back up. And he starts fighting again. Starts bobbing and weaving.
Dude.
He's impressing everybody.
Told you, nigga. What you?
And this whole fight is just like one big giant mess. So at some point during the fight sequence, his grandmother shows up and grabs him by the ear.
What you doing? Finish him! Finish him! Hey, what the hell is your mama? What the hell are you doing?
That's what I wanna know. Get over here!
What you know about? What the fuck?
Oh, my baby mama gonna kill me, Lord.
Bueno, ya. Descalificado por pendejo.
You know how worried I've been? Me cago en la madre que te parió.
You're embarrassing me.
You embarrassing me? Ow. This is how I raised you. What I tell you about fighting, huh? What I tell you about fighting? You don't even have the guts to tell me what you're doing.
If I told you, you wouldn't let me.
Yeah? No shit.
Let go of me already, mama. Please, I'm coming, okay?
You're coming home right now, puñeta.
I will, mama. Just give me a damn minute.
Right now.
That's gonna be a fucking awesome scene. I can't wait to actually animate this sequence, man. It's so crazy. And just watching a grown man get his ass beat with a sandal by his grandmother, man. That's some hilarious shit to me. So let's see, scene 8 and 9. What is scene 8 and 9? So yeah, so as far as the audio I got most of the audio for the entire series. I just need a few more characters left. Scene 8 is nothing. It's just an external shot of Club Europa. It's just like an establishing shot. But I felt that I needed to write it as its own scene because my particular filmmaking style is what you call the master scene format. I like to write the entire scene so that there's no cuts in between. So I write the whole scene like that without any cuts. When I do cut, it's because I'm literally changing the camera. And if I'm filmmaking live stuff, I just rehearse all my actors. You know, I rehearse them until they have the entire scene properly done. And then I like to find my angles. How am I going to shoot this? I record one master scene. And if it needs to, I'll do another angle or I'll do some protection shots, just a couple, you know. But I like to just shoot in master scene format. And so that's kind of how I write also. This is one shot, a scene. It's just, you know, loud music is heard from outside of a club and people are trying to park and blah, blah, blah. And that you just shoot that with one scene and you're done. So that's why that's there and there's no audio required. So really, guys, goddamn, I need Raul. If I can finish the Raul lines and the Sean lines and Laney, I'm done with episode 1. I can start animating the entire thing. I mean, obviously, I'm going to keep going because I mean that's why I'm gathering the sound for all the episodes. But it takes me maybe 3 to 4 hours once I have all the audio done just to compile the entire episode. So it shouldn't be that long for me to just have all the episodes done in an audio format. Do a quick storyboard on the rest of the scenes, and like right now, while I'm waiting for Raul, Sean, and Laney. I think I'm just gonna go ahead and do the storyboards. That'll be a good use of my time. And but yeah, as soon as I have the entire first episode, I'm gonna start animating it. I already have a lot of the scenes done. You guys have seen me streaming the building and playing around with like the stadiums, the warehouses, Taco's taco truck. All those scenes, those are things that I've been building up towards because they're scenes, you know, for the film. I got the camera system already built. I got a lot of I got so many of the tools already done. So once all the audio is done and everything, the production process is just gonna zoom, man. It's gonna go by so fucking fast. It's gonna be crazy. So I think it might have taken me a couple of years to kind of build up to this, and I'm glad it's taken this long because the original idea was to create this as a 2D animated film using Cartoon Animator, and I had all that bullshit happen with Reallusion and everything, and I got disgusted with them, and now they're not supporting G2 characters anymore. I think I had something to do with that. You know, I might have a little bit of an ego on that, but I think me talking shit about them and doing all that stuff, you know, I was trying to help them. You know, I'm trying to make them create a more professional product, and they don't want to do that. That's their problem. But I decided I'm not going to use Cartoon Animator for this film. I'm going to use Unreal Engine. So I started focusing on that. I started focusing on learning Unreal Engine. I started focusing on polishing up the audio, the acting and everything. I developed that camera system. I mean, everything's been leading up to this. And the Unreal Engine stuff looks fucking amazing. It lends itself to a more mature animated storytelling. Now that AI has come out, is giving me the hope that maybe I will be able to export this out as a 2D animated film after all, because I've had a chance to learn Stable Diffusion, and now I can render out stuff from Unreal Engine and make it look 2D, and we'll see how it goes. At this point, I'm not even worried about what it looks like right now. I'm just worried about producing. I think it was Quasi who was talking about, you know what, it doesn't matter what your shit looks like. You just gotta make it happen right now. You know, you gotta tell your fucking story. And but at this point in time, I am in that state of mind where I have everything that I need, and I don't care what it looks like at this point, especially because of the way I'm producing it in Unreal Engine. It's gonna be dynamic. You know, I can, you know, in 2 years from now, there's gonna be newer technology. That stuff is still going to be there in raw digital format. I can go in there and change the characters, change the look and feel, change the shading, change whatever I need to change, but it'll be built. I could just re-export it, you know? Hopefully it won't come to that. I mean, hopefully by the time I'm finished with this entire series, the Stable Diffusion or AI has evolved to a point where I could just dump the entire film into a folder and export out something that looks more like Akira or, you know, some DreamWorks 2D animated film, which that was really always the intention. The intention was to have it be a 2D film, but not cartoony enough that it takes you out of the picture. And I think if I would have done it in Cartoon Animator, this particular film, it would have distracted too much away from it, because it's, if I do say so myself, it's a really good story. All right, I'm going to sign off now. I am going to take a quick lunch break. I'm going to set some stuff up, and then I'm going to come back later on today and play around with some of Rand's audio files. I'll probably just take one of these two files and practice animating him to see what it looks like. I'll use my little slow-mo animation tool so you guys kind of see that part of my workflow also. It might give you guys some idea on how to generate performances for 2D animation or for animated stuff. Because I mean, yeah, you want your stuff to look normal and everything, and in most cases you want your stuff to look realistic. And one of the things that I hate when I look at other people like doing motion capture, they got the overuse of explaining hands. You're moving your hands around, you're trying to portray you're trying to overact. I hate that. Acting is all about subtleness and movement and stuff. You don't have to go too far out to act. But this particular film, you got some animated characters in there, and if you are doing stuff that does need to be looking animated, this particular workflow will allow you to generate animated looking characters without looking too extreme. You'll see what I'm talking about. So if I come on later on, you watch me streaming, you're gonna see me performing one of these sequences, and this will just be for shits and giggles. Obviously, I'm probably not gonna use it, but it's just so that we can have something to look at together. Maybe give you guys some ideas, and maybe you guys can share some ideas with me. Hey, maybe you should try this or do that, whatever. All right, I am going to sign off. I'll talk to you guys later.